is this? Silking04, Dylan Wilson, NYG D-Bone 10. We know who that is.
Hey, whoop whoop. Jay, is your mic on?
Still no audio.
Can you hear me talking?
Can you hear me talking? I'm back. I'm back.
Now my mic is on.
We can hear. Thank you.
Is that better? Yeah, thank you very much. See, every once in a while, we have a technical difficulty because I'm too much of a dumbass to turn my mic on and check. So I guess that happens.
It's all good. Thank you for telling us. Whoop whoop. Jay, is your mic on?
Oh, here we go. You can see the delay there. So,
There you go.
here's an interesting thing we can talk about. So, as everybody puts their comments in, don't feel like we're ignoring you because we don't get to you right away. We actually did a little bit of research about YouTube live streams, and depending on what type of device you're on, there's different levels of delays, and we actually decided to test that out on cell phones, on iPads, and on computers.
Yes.
And we found that they all had delays, but there was no standard.
Yeah, so apparently we're about 15 to 30 seconds delayed, so it's not too bad. And we're getting already pretty bombarded with comments. So here's the first rule. If you ask for stuff to get given away to you,
You're out.
You're out. Because we are giving stuff away. We're giving a bunch of stuff away. We're going to get into that. We got trivia we're going to do. We're going to talk about the game. We're going to talk about other YouTubers. Jay, I think you should do some shout outs again because I don't think that any of that got caught with the audio.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so let us do a little run through of some of the people we want to recognize real
Yeah,
quick.
so I mentioned apparently before it went live, people who are punctual, we like to give a little extra prop for because you show up on time. So I'm going to give a few shout outs here. I'm going to start all over right from the top. Matthew Bible, thanks for joining. Andrew Garman, Phrasen44, Brick Game, SKO Lights, Lath Ashkar, Daniel Cornwall, Clint Richardson, Silking04, Dylan Wessel, NYJ D-Bone, Holla,
Holla.
SKO Lights, JJ Gold, Matthew Bieber, Torre, Lucas Deloach, Alex Ramirez. So, got a lot of guys, and thank you everybody here. I'm looking at some of the comments. Everyone telling me my audio wasn't on, and you are
Savage
correct.
Beast. Welcome, Savage Beast.
So how is our audio now?
Jay, I'm getting comments on my beard, man. I don't want to talk about my beard. I want to talk about football, but what is it with the beard? Are you feeling it, I guess?
Well, I'm going to talk about your beard a little bit because we, Steve, we did a little bit of work for a guy in Atlanta.
Yes.
Who runs a barbershop. And it's Superb Grooming Studio. They're up by Perimeter area. So if you're familiar with Atlanta at all, you got 385, you got 85, you got the Perimeter Mall, Perimeter Road. I used to work there.
Sorry.
Which is why I got the hell out of Atlanta, to be honest with you. But I'm assuming it's better by now. Probably not.
Nah.
It's got to be probably worse. But anyway, he does really cool stuff. He bought some helmet hangers from us. He's an ex-NFL player who's now a master barber.
Yep.
And he puts up pictures all over his Instagram page showing how awesome they are. I'm going to actually do a post on Instagram kind of talking about him probably later on today. So if you are in Atlanta and you're looking for a clean cut, definitely go and stop by his shop. So he got some helmet hangers from us, or he is displaying a bunch of hangers in there. It's almost, I would think from all of his pictures on his Instagram, I bet you 90% of the people that he cuts hair for are football players, either high school all the way up to pro.
Have you seen the helmets that he has made with his different logos with the
They're
clippers
phenomenal.
and stuff?
Yeah, they're great.
It's top notch. So go check him out. Did you shout out who it actually is? His name?
I don't have. Let me see here. I do have it.
Yeah, it's on the side of the helmets there. Go check out.
Well, it's Superb Grooming Studio, and
That's
it's up near Perimeter. I don't have the actual guy's name.
We got
I
coffee
forget
in
it.
here today. We were gonna do some beer and stuff, but it's 10 a.m. You know. I don't know.
And we're coffee guys. So let us know. Are you a coffee guys? Are you watching the show over your first, second, or third cup of coffee?
Yeah, that's right. I think we should maybe get into a question or two here. We got some good ones between the viewer submissions and the stuff.
Steve,
that
I didn't get to your.
Oh,
beard.
my bad. Go ahead.
So we are actually going to go down to Atlanta, and we're going to do a shoot, and we're going to broadcast from the barber shop.
Yeah.
And I think, Steve, you're going to be in the chair, going to get a little beard trim.
We'll see what he's gonna do. I'm gonna say he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah,
I know that
I'm going to let him cut up my hair.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about growing it pretty long. Maybe I'll let it go for a month or
Your hair
month and a
grows
half.
fast as hell too.
Drives me nuts. But yeah, we'll see what he can do. I'm looking forward to that list. Now, would you want to even see something like that where we go in and we got to go to someone else's location and do stuff? Anyway,
Julio's on his second cup, by the way.
yeah, nice Julio. I'm on my first.
Cheers, friend. Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Yeah, I mean, obvious question, and he's got a TB12 jersey as his avatar.
So, Steve, why don't you give us your take?
Oh,
Or before that, do you want to do a giveaway?
let's give something away.
So we told people that we were going to be giving a lot of stuff away. We've just got over 100 people on chat right now.
Yep.
I have no idea how many people are actually viewing. I don't know where to even look for that stuff. But we're going to be giving stuff away every few minutes, the whole
show
broadcast, however long it lasts.
If you win, just make sure your channel is set to public, because we're going to reach out to you, the winners. Don't ask for free stuff because you won't win that way. But if you do win, set your channel to public. We're going to contact you to be able to make sure you get your stuff. What do you want to give away?
So I'm thinking let's go with our sponsor, something from our sponsor.
Okay.
So this video is sponsored by the Emblem Source. And this is a company that we've been working with for years now, and we reached out to them and said, hey, we're looking for a sponsor for the video. I mean, they're not paying us for this, but we've kind of come to an agreement where they sent up a bunch of stuff for us to give away, and it's some pretty cool stuff. So what the Emblem Source does is they supply patches to pretty much every pro or big team you see on TV.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that they do anyway. So any MLB patches, any NCAA patches, all the kind of the custom special stuff here. So let's go. I'm going to start with the 150th patch. You got that one there?
Here it is, man.
So this 150th patch
going in on
is
it's in on you.
The exact patch being worn by every single team in college next year. It's the 150th anniversary of football. Princeton played Rutgers. Maybe that should have been the question, Steve. You played in the first game.
You blew it.
Blew it. So this patch is going to be on everybody's uniform. So we've got one right here. We have actually a couple of these that we're going to give away. So for question number 1, we're going to be doing a trivia. The first person to answer this question correctly is going to win this patch. And again, we will contact you. So your YouTube page needs to be set to public, and you need to have your email address in there. So if you're not sure how to do that, afterwards, go to the About. We're probably going to send out these emails tomorrow, not today. So you have a little time, but if you win. So go into your About, you just have to put your email address in, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, so first question, Steve, is what is our most popular video by views?
Most popular video by views. First to get it gets one of those patches.
Yeah. So we have Tomas off camera. He's going to be waiting for the answers to come piling in. He knows the answer to this one. I think you know, right, Tomas?
Rutgers. NYG Bone. It would be at a lot. No.
But all good guesses, all good guesses. So while people are guessing that, Steve, now let's get into
the game.
The game. Who do you got?
Yeah, Patriots. I mean, it is what it is. I think it's going to be a great game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. I think Tom Brady is...
Time out real quick.
What?
Wyatt Perks. There's your shout out, man. Okay, Steve, continue.
Damn. Okay. I think Tom Brady might get hurt, because if Sue has anything to do with it, I don't know. I really believe that he, I'm not wishing that he gets hurt. I have a fear that Tom Brady...
Not too much.
Not too much. But I think the Patriots are going to win, and I think it's going to be by at least 10. What about you?
You're thinking Patriots by 10?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give my prediction
Baker.
a little bit later on. So we got a winner?
We got a winner. Christopher Ross.
Christopher Ross, congratulations.
Oh, no, not Christopher Ross.
Oh, no.
First person we saw DPS highlights.
DPS highlights.
Okay.
So DPS highlights, congratulations. You are the winner. I guess you could have gone into YouTube and you can kind of check.
That's okay.
But, hey, whoever has the quickest thumbs, right?
Yeah, that's right. Don't jinx it, Steve. I know. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I feel it coming. I don't want to be right, but, But anyway, so, Jay, you were saying...
I'm going to give my prediction a little bit later in the show.
Okay.
How's that?
I like it. I like it.
And then we can talk a little bit more about why you might be right or wrong.
So people want to see that Chrome Panthers helmet. Should we break that out real quick and show it to the camera?
Why don't you go get it,
Let me go get this.
So Tomas, what kind of questions are coming in that people want to hear about? Have us talk about?
Big thing I'm seeing, I don't know if you can hear me very well, but this Riddell technology,
Oh, yeah?
diamond technology, what's it all about?
Interesting. Yeah, so this actually is something that we saw at one of the trade shows, I guess, last month. And they kind of have it under wraps. Every year, a bunch of the companies at the trade shows, they'll have these big booths set up, and they'll build basically a room in the middle of the trade show floor, in the middle of their booth, and they bring people into these rooms, and it's top secret. They don't let other vendors in there. They don't let just anybody in there. So they'll bring the teams in there, and this trade show was the coaches show. So one of the things that they were showing off there, and they had some of these helmets in their booths where they had the clear shell, and you can go to the Riddell YouTube page. They put up a video kind of explaining what it is. They're basically using 3D printers to print the padding inside the helmet. Specifically, this one is the Speed Flex.
It's amazing.
And I think that this is kind of where we're all headed. I mean, we're going to eventually, everything's going to be made by robots and 3D printers, right?
Yep,
and Riddell is one of the first companies that's basically using 3D printing for mass scale manufacturing. There's other companies do it. Adidas is one that does it. And you can kind of go to their Instagram page or their website, and you can see, follow the links, basically, the breadcrumbs, I guess, that Riddell is working with this company called Carbon. Carbon makes these 3D printers, and they've been actually working with Adidas, and they've been printing some things in the Adidas running shoes and so forth.
Yeah.
But it's going to allow them to do things that you can't do with any other technology. So I don't think that we're not going to see those helmets in the Super Bowl.
No, it's too soon.
But they're coming, and this is going to be one of those things. It's going to start off at the highest level, and then it's going to trickle down. And I would say, maybe within a couple of years, it could be at a price point where high schools are able, or it's being available to high schools. I mean, it's a much bigger thing to create an infrastructure to actually sell these things at the level that Riddell is going to want to be able to sell them for, or at. So I think that basically it's 3D printing padding on the inside of the helmets that's going to help absorb impacts.
It's amazing stuff. When when you're done watching this, go check that out. It's on Riddell's YouTube. It's very interesting. And I don't want to forget this, Jay. So somebody just asked Gigi, Jeje, I guess, and they said, are there pictures of any of the helmets that we have that they can use as wallpaper? We've talked about doing this before. Coming soon-ish on the website, we are going to give all of our high def, essentially, pictures, I would say, away for you to download. They'll have a little green gridiron watermark on there, but you can use it for whatever you want. Put it on your watch, put it on your computer, your phone. Yes, the answer is yes. We just don't have that yet. Great question, Gigi.
Yeah, and what's interesting is...
Oh, we got some questions.
This guy right here, Steve, he's a professional photographer. Some of the stuff that you do, Steve, is unbelievable. I mean, we're living in a world right now where everyone is a photographer. Everyone has one of these,
It's
right?
true.
And the technology in these is getting better and better and better. And I'll tell you, when you got your new phone, the pictures you were taking with your phone were better than anything that I could even envision in my little peanut brain. But we've got some stuff. We're gonna do a little studio tour later on, and you can see some of the artwork that Steve has taken of some of the helmets that we've built, and we've considered putting these things up for sale on the website. They're not crazy affordable for what they are. I mean, they have a really high. You want to show some people right now?
Sure, yeah. And can we give something away to Gigi for asking that? I
Sure,
think that's a cool question.
That was a great question. How about we reach into the grab bag here? How about an embossed tech flag?
Cool. Gigi, you get yourself a nice $4 or $5 decal. That's on us.
There you
We're
go.
going to do a little tour. Is that what you want to see, Jay? Just some of the pictures?
Yeah, just some of the pictures. We'll do a more in-depth tour later, but just because we're talking about it, so I'll keep talking about it as you kind of go and you show people around, Steve. So basically what these are pictures that of helmets that we built typically for videos. That one right there of the LSU helmet, that's actually at a trade show in the shut booth. You'll see a Lions helmet behind it with the LSU. That's when they first came out with the F7s. That's the Giants OBJ Color Rush Custom. That's a one-off. Steve, that one's actually in your house.
This is in my house.
Now, right? And then we've got a couple of more over here. But you've got tons and tons of pictures of other helmets. These are just ones that we just had printed. It's a super high gloss, so they really pop. They're pretty big. I think we got these, what, at 20 by 30?
Correct.
Yeah, and we've kind of run the numbers, and we would need to sell them for $200. But I think at that price, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's legit. It's legit wall art. Anybody with any sort of a man cave or any sort of collection, I think it would fit very nicely. So, but they're not cheap. But they're on metal, like you said. I mean, they're really nice.
Yeah. So let us know. You know, is that something that you'd be interested in? Because we've got so many really, really cool helmets that we build.
Yeah.
Some of them we build them and they're out the door, and then other ones we build for our own collection. We take to trade shows and so forth. But this is another way to kind of, you know, immortalize them, and we would even sign. We've actually made some for some people and then ship them out, and we'll sign them and number them and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, let us know what your thoughts are on that, because we're going to go back and we're going to read through all these comments to see what people say about everything. Anyway,
B. Hogan suggests that we pull out our favorite helmets. I don't know where they.
You know, I think the Frogman is downstairs.
Okay.
And the
don't say what mine is.
Oh,
it's a good trivia one.
Oh, well,
yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, I don't know.
I almost did.
You
Actually,
almost did.
it's down. You know, it's downstairs, Tomas, on the shelf. If you want to go grab it. Yeah, we can show people the helmet because that's actually going to be a future question. So everyone actually now knows half of the answer to a future giveaway question.
That's right. And while you're doing that, Jay, just real quick, go Tigers! This is Jay is an alum.
Yes,
graduate
go Tigers.
of Clemson Tigers.
My blood runneth orange, Steve.
This is a pretty cool helmet. I know this kind of means a lot to Jay. This is all stenciled, so people are asking about chrome.
Yeah.
This is to show what you can do with chrome and imagination and money.
And there's,
it's not cheap.
You know, the story behind chrome helmets for us and how we kind of started getting into it was probably 4, 5, 6 years ago. We said, hey, you know what? We want to be able to show off our face mask more in the booth when we go to trade shows, and what better way than to jingle some shiny stuff in front of people so they can you know, see it when they're walking by and so forth. So the first chrome helmet we did was a Clemson chrome Riddell Speed, put it in the booth, and actually Dabo was at that show, so I know that it was before he was hanging out in national championship games and stuff. And you know, it was really popular. We actually ended up donating several of our Clemson chrome helmets because we would make one and then use it for a show, and then ultimately we would donate it to a charity or a charity type event that was local, and we'd make another one and that one would go. So we've made many of these. Now, you know, Riddell made a bunch of chrome helmets last year. I've seen some Clemson ones, and you know, and they're not bad. I think that they're more for the masses than the ones that we make. The ones we make are pretty high end as far as all of the way that we do it versus the more affordable way, which is basically starting with an orange shell and putting on some decals. Ours is all stenciled in there, and it's a little bit more complex.
Yeah.
But you know, people love chrome.
They do love chrome, man.
It's not going away. It is expensive, and I think that's one of the things. One of the reasons it's not going away, because it's so expensive. You can't have it. Not everybody can have it because it's not affordable. Go ahead, put it. Actually, yeah, I guess we could show it.
Yeah, let's show it. You show it, Jay, because this is your favorite of the year.
Yeah, and we did a whole video on this and how we built this and put it together. So we don't have the technology yet, Steve, to actually put video within video.
Not yet.
So we're just going to be showing this here. But this is, you know, a fantastic helmet. UCLA only wore this design once, and this is the Navy SEALs Frogman logo, I guess, or yeah. So and you know, just I've always loved the contrast between the matte painted colors and the chrome decals. I think it looks great. This one has a matte face mask on it, and we actually did some of the masks for that very game. So it was, you know, kind of special a little bit getting our hands on this one. I've been to UCLA several times. Kristen, the old equipment manager from UCLA, was one of the first. I mean, we put our website up, and Kristen basically reached out to us like the same day.
Isn't that
that
crazy?
we put the site up.
Amazing.
And so it was, UCLA was basically our first client
Yeah.
from our website back in like 2010.
Wow, special helmet for
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So we had a lot of questions. It's funny. This is my first time seeing the camera guy, John. What's up, man? People really want to know about they heard about this visor rule potentially next year. Let's get into that.
Yeah, let's give something away first, though. What do
Even
you say?
better.
What do you say?
Even
so,
better.
How about another shout out to our sponsor? We're going to give away another Emboss Tech.
Yeah.
Not Emboss Tech, but another Emblem Source patch.
Check out Emblem Source, their Instagram.
Yeah.
Please go check them out when you're done with this or now. Really cool stuff.
Yeah, so one of our goals is to basically prove to the Emblem Source that you will actually go check them out if it's something that you're interested in. So head on over to Instagram. You can do it after the video if you can't,
Sure.
we don't want you to stop watching us to go to that. But if you have the capability to do both, like if you have YouTube Red, you can just jump over real quick and still listen. But go follow them on Instagram. They put up pictures of the patches, a lot of the patches they do, but they do a lot of the patches for, I think they're doing it for most all the bowl games.
Yep.
So any bowl game, there's like 42 or 43.
Yeah, so many.
I can't keep count anymore. But all of those patches go on there. They're doing patches on all the baseball. So let's do a baseball patch here. So here's a question. Here's a trivia question. Let's go with the our favorite helmet. So what helmets for 2018, which one was Jay's favorite helmet and which one was Steve's favorite helmet? You're already halfway there. The UCLA Frogman helmet. I'm giving you 50% of the answer.
I mean, open
Steve.
book test, man.
Yeah, pretty much here.
So what was my favorite helmet build of 2018?
And then you need to list in your answer, are you an ARZ or an FLA?
Yeah.
So these are the spring training patches that MLB will be wearing. Half the league will be, that plays in Florida will be wearing the Florida, and half the league that plays in Arizona, the Grapefruit League,
The Grapefruit League
will be playing in Arizona, and these are going to be going on their jerseys. So you could actually have one of these before you even see them on TV.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Thank
so
you, Emblem Source.
the question again.
Somebody already got it.
We already got it?
Winner.
Who's the winner?
JC.
JC. Congratulations, my friend.
The answer is Saquon Barkley, New York Giants, 50-50, Penn State. I mean, what an unbelievable build that was. That was the most attention to detail, I would say, that we've ever put into a helmet. We even had the chin strap, one side ratchet, the other side buckle. It was insane, 50-50 mask. Go check that video out. It's on our playlist.
I'll say a labor of love for sure. We don't have that in studio. That was actually a build that we did kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, Steve? It was made just for someone.
Yes, yeah, it was kind of a commission piece.
Commissioned.
Yeah.
There you go. Commissioned. For someone, it came out fantastic.
Cat.
Better
Shout out.
Better than we had expected. So,
Yes.
and which one did they go with, Tomas?
Arizona?
What does he want?
Arizona or Florida?
Yeah, tell us which one.
So, when we email you, you can let us know which one you want.
So visor rule.
Visor rule, yeah. So in the Pro Bowl, and let us know how many of you people out there actually watched the Pro Bowl or look forward to the Pro Bowl. In the Pro Bowl, the NFL is testing out some rule tweaks, I should say, right? They're doing stuff with the mics and they're doing stuff with some other things, right? Adjusting the clocks and so forth, cameras. Some stuff I think is pretty cool. Some stuff is like, I don't really get it. But I think you got to give them credit for trying, right? And one of the things is they're experimenting with visors. Now, we had first heard about this well over a year ago, I think, when...
More trade show stuff.
Yeah, at the trade shows, we kind of keep our ears open, obviously. But Oakley made a custom visor for Visus. So Visus, I guess, commissioned Oakley to make them a visor specifically for the Visus 01 helmet, so it fits like a glove. It doesn't fit any other helmet. It's kind of the consequence of that. And those visors have Prism, or the Oakley Prism technology kind of in them, which I believe is a layer that is kind of applied. I don't know if it's applied on the outside or the inside of the visor, but it's applied onto the visor, and it enhances your vision. So when I don't know how much people know about Oakley, their technology and what they do, with optics, but depending on the sport,
Yep.
the prism technology, they have different formulas. So if you're a downhill skier, you've got all that white snow, you got a lot of glare coming up at you, you're actually going to be, it's the tint, I guess, is formulated differently to optimize your vision when you're looking through your snow goggles. Same thing if you're a fisherman, it's a different, there's a lot of, it's a different formula that you use to enable you to see better out on the lake or out in the ocean. And I wouldn't be surprised one bit if they have different optics for lake versus ocean, because
But where does this go for the new visor rule?
well, what this is Oakley is now spending, I'm going to say millions, to develop the technology for football, so the players, and I'm thinking mostly it's going to be wide receivers, but DBs and so forth, can see the ball better
Yeah, the ball
as it's
stands
flying
out.
through the air. So I think as players have started to wear these visors in practice, they say, hey, wait a second, I can see better in practice than I can in the game. There's, it's not just a fashion statement.
Right.
There's a reason behind wearing these visors, and we want to wear them in games. So I think the NFL has heard the call from some of the players who really like these. Now you can make the argument, maybe they do like them for a fashion statement, and they're just looking for a reason to get them into the games. But the reality is, if they do truly make vision better, and now you could potentially argue that the game will get better with these visors in play, then they're going to look into it.
So you're saying we're going to be able to start seeing tinted visor more and more common in regular game use?
From the way that I read it, the NFL is looking into it. They're going to make a decision. I think that safety is their biggest concern. Personally, I think that they wrote the rule wrong when they said years ago only clear visors have to be 100% clear to be able to be worn in game, unless you have a doctor's note that you have sensitive eyes and you need a tinted visor. I think they wrote that wrong, because the intent of the rule was they need to be able to see the player's eyes so they can do those types of tests with the helmet on to identify if there's the potential for a concussion after a hit. And a
Right.
tinted visor, somebody gets hit, whacked hard, you can't see the pupils, you can't see if it's dilated. You've all kind of either on the field or been to the doctor where the doctor takes the light and they kind of flash around to see if how your pupils will react to it.
Can't do it with a dark visor.
Can't do it with a dark visor, so I get it. But at the same time, there are plenty of slightly tinted visors where you can still see through. I mean, Shock has a whole bunch of them, 5 or 6 different colors of clear visors. It's a 100% clear visor with a with colored coatings on them. You can still see through the visor easily.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So to me, I think this is going to head down the path of the NFL saying, if the visor gets approved, then it can be worn by anybody. And I would not be surprised one bit if Oakley is the first one to get approved, because they have this prism technology, because they've applied it to clear visors or visors that are lightly tinted. Because if it's going to make the players see the balls better, then guess what? They're going to catch more balls.
And it looks cooler. And to me, if tinted visors are going to be a thing, I wonder if they're going to start allowing things that they used to allow, like big grills and different things like that. I mean, maybe they're maybe they're realizing the same thing with AAF. We don't know all this stuff with the AAF, the new league that's coming out. I mean, I'm curious to see what's the celebration rule going to be. Are they going to do a kickoff? Are they going to be allowed to wear big grills and all crazy stuff? I mean, it would be great.
Yep,
But
and we'll get into the AAF a little bit later on, and we think, from what I've read about the AAF, it's going to be a very fan-centric league, and they're trying to do things that are going to speed up the game, and I think that the AAF obviously has influence from the NFL, and it's going to kind of be a testing ground for some of this stuff as well. So I wouldn't be surprised right out of the gate if we see some of these visors in the AAF. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the players being allowed to be more individuals.
Yep.
I remember back in the 80s and 90s, it was a thing where the NFL was doing everything they could to keep the individuality out of the league, and that's only continued.
Yeah.
They don't want, to me, that's probably more of a reason why visors got kicked out of or tinted visors got kicked out of the NFL, because guys were becoming individuals about it. Same thing with the face mask, same thing with certain styles of the way that they wear their uniform.
Yeah, they want a clean look. There's a couple of things I'd like to address. One of them is pretty cool. So we're getting questions I see Do we ship overseas? Yes, if you go to greengridiron.com, we have about 800,000 to 900,000 visits on our site a year. So we're going to hit over 1 million website visits this year. It's pretty cool. But yes, we ship overseas. We ship all around the world. And if you go on the website and you choose your product and you put it in the cart, and it'll calculate shipping for you. So thank you for asking. This is a cool question.
And actually, let me follow up to that real quick, because if you are outside of the U.S., leave a comment below in the live chat.
Yes.
Where are you from?
Yep.
You know, thank you for joining, because time zones are all over the place, and you could be the middle of the night there.
Yes.
But two, if you're buying a lot of things on our website, say you buy a helmet, a visor, a chin strap, a face mask, and you put all these things in your cart, that's 4 different things. Sometimes the shipping calculations can get out of whack, and it overestimates the shipping. So if you think that the shipping is too high, just send us an email, send us your order information before you actually pay and all that. We can go back and we can look at your order. We can recalculate what the actual shipping is and make some adjustments. Because sometimes, depending on the country, it can get pretty far out of whack. And a lot of countries, it's pretty much dead on. And we had to make the decision back when we opened up international shipping over a year ago. Do we just go with it and kind of fine tune it as we go, or do we try and fix all of these formulas before we launch? And we still wouldn't be launched if that was the case. So,
true story. Yes.
You know, we know that we can't make everybody happy 100% of the time, but we do have a lot of international shipments going out the door.
Yep.
But at the same time, if you think that shipping is crazy, it might be.
It might be.
Or it might not be. But either way, we can let you know.
And we're getting people from England, California, Michigan, New York, Puerto Rico. Thank you very much, because I know the time zones are all over the map, so it's probably 2, 3 a.m. But this is a cool question, Jay, and I really like this one. So are there any NCAA or NFL guys wearing Green Gridiron gear, and is that even allowed? The answer is there are hundreds of NCAA and NFL players. Thousands. We supply teams. Jay is very respectful with not name dropping. He's a business owner. I get more enjoyment out of seeing our stuff going off to these big teams and seeing this stuff come in. The answer is yes. Thousands of NCAA, NFL players are wearing our gear, but it can't be logoed because it's not allowed.
It's not allowed. And you have to remember, when we started, Green Gridiron started with the purpose of recoding face masks for the team. So I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say probably half the teams on this back wall or more are using our recoding services. So they'll send us their face masks either in the off season or actually throughout the season to keep the face mask looking good. So that's kind of where we came from, and we added all the other stuff and opened that up to retail later on, because we've already got multiple orders in right now. Well into the hundreds of face masks. We're going to send them back to the teams, and they'll just go in the equipment room, and that's what's going to be going on the helmets for next year. They're still going to be buying new helmets and buying new face masks, but a lot of these big teams, they have hundreds, if not thousands, of face masks in their locker rooms, and that's basically where we came from.
Yeah, so great question, Clark Stanton. Thank you.
Clark Stanton. I know Clark Stanton.
Yeah.
You asked this question, and you didn't even know the name.
I didn't even see it until just
Clark,
now.
one of the funniest / smartest savants out there for sure.
He's got something.
Yeah, Clark is up in northern New York. I don't call it upstate, because to me upstate is just above New York City.
That's
true. Clark, thanks for tuning in.
Thanks, Clark.
Clark's kids are playing football now, and they're tearing it up. And I know I played basketball with Clark before, and he's got a laser for an arm. That's why he didn't go pro. He threw the ball too hard.
Basketball?
Football. He played. I know he played football too, and he probably ran naked through the streets too many times.
That's pretty funny. Somebody just asked Jay, how rich are we? This is another question that
rich
we get
like
a lot
brownies are rich?
I'm not sure. We're very rich in culture. No. So what we do, people are asking, do we just do YouTube? And I think right now they're getting that answer that no. YouTube was something that was in Jay's mind years ago. Brought me on, and I helped get the show running. We built the studio, we got the camera equipment, we did it all. So my sole job is not just YouTube, but it's a good portion of what I do. Jay is kind of the mastermind when it comes to all of the little intricacies that go into the helmets and face masks. So we have a reconditioning shop where we do all face masks. We do tens of thousands of face mask reconditioning, whether it's just one, you know, for you if you want to go to the website and get one done, or entire teams. We sell collectibles. We do a lot. So YouTube is not what we do. It's just a way to help entertain and educate the audience. And you know, we found a good place, and we have the best fan base. I'm serious. The comments and the love that we get, it's outstanding.
And we really appreciate it, because what we see when we watch other videos is there's obviously a lot. It's very easy to be negative online.
A lot of trolls.
And, you know, the stereotype is people are just hanging out in their basement, being negative, giving their opinion, and just, you know, beating up on you know, social media people in general because they can. I don't think that's really the case. And from you out there, yeah, we'll get a negative comment here or there, but the reality is most of the negative, and I'll just put that in quotes, is more constructive criticism about things or your opinion about stuff. And we don't hear, oh, that sucks. Like, that's not a typical kind of response that we see on our channel. There's, you know, obviously if you're a Redskins or Eagles fan, you're going to be a little biased towards the Cowboys or Giants helmet,
which is fine.
Which is fine, but it's amazing how people will say, "Oh, I'm a Cowboys fan, but man, that Giants helmet looks amazing."
Yes.
But I still hate the team.
Yep.
And everything that goes with them. So people really appreciate it, and that's fantastic as well.
Thank you for all the love. We gotta give Hunter something, man. Somebody asked what did we each do before we got into the helmet world, and right out of the gate he said Steve was a cop, and I don't want to get all into that, but yes, I was a cop. And we got to give this guy something because he pays attention, man.
Yeah, he does. How about, well, first off, do we know, is Hunter a player? Is
Hunter.
he a collector? Or is he just a fan of equipment?
I don't know. Let me know, Hunter. You know who you are. I'm going to watch the comment myself. Tell us what you are, because we want to give you something, and we don't want to give you something that you can't use. Right?
Yeah.
You know?
True.
And then we're going to do a full studio
How about we do a
tour.
t-shirt?
Oh, there you go.
Everybody can use a t-shirt.
Hunter, you get yourself a t-shirt. Thanks for the comment. Thanks for paying attention. So we have a couple of things that we can.
Well, what else? You want to go into what I did before getting this? So Steve was a cop.
Yeah.
And he was also became a photographer. So now I would, you know, he's a master photographer. Obviously, we just mentioned that before. I actually spent, you know, in my high school and college days, I spent over 10 years working in restaurants, managed several restaurants. And then my professional career took me into banking, where I worked as a broker and worked in compliance, operations, sales, marketing, trading at a bunch of big banks up in New York City. And, you know, for anybody who works in finance, typically you want to get the hell out of it. So that's exactly what I did. And that's when I started this company, gosh, 9 years ago now, 2010 is kind of when we kicked off. So that's what I did. That's what Steve did. You don't need our types of backgrounds to do what we do. You know, you need a kind of a passion to do something
and do it well
and stick with your passion.
Yeah.
Just passion isn't enough. I'll tell you that. You got to be. It's not easy starting a company. I'll tell you that.
Dude, and this guy Andrew, before you said it, was like, Jay worked in restaurants. That's unbelievable that this guy knew that. Either you really paid attention.
Yeah, I don't know if I've even mentioned that.
Yeah, that's
in
interesting.
Games. You know, bonus credit out there if anybody can guess exactly what type of restaurant I used to run here in Greenville, South Carolina. A hint is that I used to live, you know, I'm from Connecticut and lived in New York for a while. So
do with that info that you will.
Yeah.
Here's a really great comment, and I just think it's outstanding. Bennett sent this in. If you could hang out with any NFL player, past or present, who would it be? I love that question, man.
Wow.
Good question.
Well, I know who D-Bone would hang out with. That'd be Eli. He probably has hung out with Eli, because I know Eli's his favorite player for sure. Steve, who would you hang out with? I don't know.
I mean, I think for me, currently, it would probably be Barkley. I think he's just, I don't know, he's infectious. He's not a diva. He's a beast of a talent. Just got, you know, Rookie of the Year. He's sitting on top of the world. Super positive guy. And he's a Giant, of course. I don't think there's any question that that's who I would go to. Past, nobody's really going to like this answer very much, but Dan Marino. I think Dan Marino is probably one of the most, I don't know.
It's tough. He's got, I mean, all these guys have great stories, but there's something about Marino.
Yeah, and he's got it like.
I mean, certainly if you're going golfing, because Marino does his little golf tricks here and there.
Exactly, and he's probably got mad isotoner gloves.
Yeah, I want to say the guy that I want to hang out with the most because of, kind of how I grew up and. I always respected the fact that he's not a flashy, showboaty guy, would be Barry Sanders. And I think he's a guy that's respected pretty much universally as one of, if not the best running back in history. My personal take is he is the best running back in history.
Yeah. Can't argue.
But at the same time, if I want to go out partying and drink, I guess it depends on where we're hanging out. Are we hanging out?
Baker Mayfield.
Kinda, or Joe Namath.
Tell us who you would want to hang out with, and let's keep it current, I guess, just to minimize. But let's give Bennett something, Jay, if you don't mind, because I think that's an outstanding question.
Yeah. And I'm going to give one here to Jeepers Creepers because Jeepers Creepers got the right answer with bagels. I used to run a bagel shop.
What a great guess or super stalker. Either way.
He took that hint and ran with it.
Yeah.
I threw out New York City up there. Obviously, New York's got the best bagels. I got to say, even in South Carolina, a lot of people say that great bagels in New York come from the water. I disagree. I think a great bagel can be made anywhere. The water, I guess, arguably could help, but I'd probably you take a great bagel maker in New York and you put them in Dallas, and I guarantee you do a blind taste test, you're not going to be able to tell the difference of where the bagel was made.
I'm with you, man. So
we don't need to talk about bagels.
But we can give away.
Yeah, Jeepers Creepers. Let us know. Are you a player? Are you a collector? Or are you just a fan? And we'll kind of go from there. Tomas will be looking for your reply.
Bo Jackson, that's a good answer too.
Yeah.
And then I'm looking forward to doing a little bit of a studio tour. How bad do you want to see the whole studio? The other thing is, there's Jorge Garcia. I was waiting for him. I was like,
you got to wake up.
Yeah, man, come on, get with it. So I would like to do a studio tour, but do you have anything that you want to cover before we do that?
Yeah, so why don't you do a tour, Steve? And while you're getting started with that, I want to throw a big shout out to a couple of the other YouTube creators out there that, they mention our name. I'm not going to get everybody. We don't have a list written down or anything like that, but certainly Adventure Athlete. I want to kind of, I've been kind of talking to him. We were trying to kind of set it up so he could actually join in live, or actually a few of these guys could join in live. We can kind of talk about him a little bit. We like to share the love. So definitely go check out Adventure Athlete on YouTube. He's going to be doing a halftime release of a video today. So it's not going to be scheduled because you don't know exactly when halftime is going to fall. So if you're not into, I don't know, is it Maroon 5 playing, Steve?
Maroon 5 is playing.
Yeah, if you're not into the halftime show, which it seems like every year I get less and less interested in it personally. So if you're looking for something to do at halftime, definitely go check out Adventure Athlete. He's actually going to be dropping footballs from his drone and catching them. So he's a quarterback at Linfield College up in Oregon. And he's got a great channel. It's basically, he's got a bunch of videos about what it's like to be a college athlete, specifically quarterback. He does videos where he goes on, to road games, and he shows what happens on the bus, and he shows what happens in the locker room, shows how, it's amazing how much, the lower levels, and I think they're D2 or D3, I can't remember, but the players got to do a lot of the grunt work themselves. At the higher levels, nobody's touching the bag, right? At the lower levels, these guys do a lot of the work themselves, and it's up to them how to get a lot of this stuff done and scheduling and all that. And he goes through over all that on his website, and he's a good guy too. So go check out Adventure Athlete, and then come back later on today at the halftime show and go check out his video where he's dropping footballs from his drone. Should be interesting.
And Jeepers Creepers is a player, so I'm thinking, one of these goodies, man.
Yeah, how about we do for Jeepers Creepers, let's go with one of our Green Gridiron branded chin straps.
Boom, that's for you.
Yeah, how you like this guy right here?
Give him a chin strap or something. There you go.
Yeah, so this is one of the Shut chin straps. We worked with them, or they worked with us to get our branding on there. And I think they came out pretty cool. So Jeepers Creepers, that one's for you. Thanks,
So,
man.
so Jay, I'm gonna show everybody the studio.
Yeah.
So this is something that we built basically because we needed a place to shoot our videos. So let's start from the very beginning, shall we? So don't mind the lights. So here's the list of stuff that we do throughout the week. Little control panel, on air light, you get it. Here is my desk, everybody, and there's Kristen. Yes, she's helping us out today. And that is the lady responsible for the kiss mark on my neck. I know a lot of people ask about my tattoo. And Kristen, you got me good. That's right, she's helping out. This is where I stand when we do our videos. So normally there's a big camera up here. I have my headphones on. I make sure everything's running smoothly. And here is our little setup. This is to make sure that we don't have anything in our teeth. So we got some nice lighting. It's pretty controllable. We can control the brightness, the color, temperature, you name it. Here's some of the pieces that we have collected over the years and or working on. And as you can see, we got quite a few helmets,
So you
Jay.
might actually see a future project on this.
Oh, that's right.
In this take, this cut.
These helmets right here are all floating on the wall with our helmet hangers, which are super easy to use and to hang your stuff on, whether it's a collectible or a field use one, you name it. And Jay, we really got a lot of helmets on the wall, man.
Yeah, we do. So if you like our helmet collection, go ahead and give a thumbs up to this video. That helps the YouTube algorithm, and as we all know, it's all about the YouTube algorithm. So the more comments, the more likes, the more shares, all that kind of stuff. I mean, certainly if you can, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, I'm assuming probably almost everyone, if not everyone, who's watching us right now is subscribed. So thank you very much for that. And if you click the notification bell, you get notified whenever we put out a new video. So YouTube is constantly changing stuff around, and and we just got approved, Steve. Speaking of, this isn't something I plan to talk about, but we'll throw it out there. We'll see if we can get some of your feedback on this. But we just got approved for a relatively new feature that YouTube is allowing channels and creators access to, which is we could set up a subscription service. You can't change the amount, so it's $4.99 a month, and then we would need to come up with what people get for that $4.99 a month. And then other channels, what they do, they basically started with channels that have over 1 million subscribers, and then they probably dropped it to 500,000, and then 100,000, and so forth. So it's come down to our level. Who knows how long it's going to be until this thing is kind of more widespread. Looked into it a little bit. We've got to get anything that we provide to our fan base and to our channel needs to be approved by YouTube. So it's a process. But who out there would be interested in a $4.99 a month subscription? And what do you want to see? I mean, certainly we could do behind the scenes stuff. We've actually even considered doing a little bit more in depth on kind of what goes into the projects that we're working on.
Yeah.
But you know what? I just don't know if our channel is really, and kind of the way that we're set up is good for something like that or not. But you let us know. What do you think? Is $4.99 a month something that you think you would pay to see extra things? And for me, all of the revenue that we get from the channel, we want to put back into the channel. So this would be something where whatever we make off of that, whether it's 10 people or 10,000 people who sign up for it, we would probably put all that money back into helmets and lighting and gear to make the channel better.
So that's an excellent point. Let us know, because it's very new to us, and we just don't know what to do with it yet. It's like a new shiny toy that we just can't play with yet. So let us know. You know what I want to talk about, man?
Talk about it, Steve.
What helmet is Tom Brady going to wear?
Well, we know what he's going to wear today.
Let me correct that. What's he going to wear next year? Because the helmet, that VSR4, it's banned. That's it.
So a quick recap here. We did a whole video talking about this in our NFL bans helmets video, which was a little bit clickbaity, but I think it is true in that, the NFL came out earlier this year and said, hey, after 2018, here's a list of helmets that are going to be banned. And basically, I believe everything left on the list that's allowed is a 5-star helmet or above. So it would be very unlikely for any helmet to come out anytime ever in the future that's not going to be a 5-star helmet. So the VSR4 was one of the helmets on the list. It's not a 5-star helmet. It gets banned from the NFL. Starting in the 2019 season, obviously the most popular player to be wearing one is Tom Brady, and a couple other players were wearing them, and they've stopped wearing them. I think Phillip Rivers was wearing one, and Drew Brees was wearing one. And who else, Steve? Aaron Rodgers had a...
It's amazing to me that there's anybody still wearing a helmet. That things like...
But you're starting to see these popular, future Hall of Famers, like guaranteed first ballot Hall of Famers, they're wearing the helmets that they wore in high school. And, it's almost this argument between, well, the rules are so set in their favor to not get hit as much or as hard, but they still end up getting hit hard. It's not
especially Aaron Rodgers. You ever notice he gets knocked out? I mean, he does it to himself because he still likes to use his feet here and there. But word is, not to go off on a tangent, but word is he's going to be wearing a Visus next year.
And we'll see how. I'm sure he's got to wear it in practice and all that stuff before he does. And I'm sure that Riddell and Shutter are going to be doing everything they can to get him to wear one of theirs.
I heard Tom Brady's actually going to petition the NFL to allow an extension of these helmets. And if anybody's going to get away with it, it's going to be TB12. But my thinking is, why put yourself in danger by wearing a helmet? There's nothing wrong with that helmet. It's just there's so many better ones now.
And I think that you can take both sides of, that argument is, hey, it's gotten him this far. He's in 9 Super Bowls. And how many years... If they decide to just grandfather these guys and say, hey, you can't come into the league and wear any of these, only players who have been wearing them throughout their career are allowed to continue to wear them, it's going to go away eventually. I mean, they did that, remember, with the kickers and the single bar masks and all that.
Yes.
They do that in hockey, or they did that in hockey where, players weren't even wearing helmets. And that was kind of weird. I mean, you really got to be a certain special kind of person to go play a sport where everyone else is wearing a helmet and you're not.
True. That's very true. Yeah, yeah.
So I would say that I would not be surprised one bit if the NFL allows for a petition to take place or an exception to take place, because from a legal standpoint, if a guy wants to wear something and now I don't let him and it's a piece of safety equipment, and something happens, now he can easily point to me, the NFL, saying, hey, I wanted to wear this. They forced me to wear something else. Now I'm hurt. Now I'm injured. I'm going to go after them, all guns blazing.
And that's where the one helmet rule comes in for the NFL. There's a one shell rule. So when you see teams, take the Rams, for example, where they constantly look like they're switching helmets, they're not. They just strip the helmets down week after week. Color rush. Giants go from NY to Giants. They're the same helmets, and that lends to that. So, Jay, I got cool stuff.
And talking about that, Steve, not to cut you off again, but we're working with a company, Aaron down in Atlanta, from Game Day Skins. They've got a fantastic new product. We've already got there's already teams right now in college. They're going to be testing out this in spring practice. So don't be surprised if the NFL and CFL start to use a game day skins type technology, which is basically plastic customed panels that go on the sides of the helmets, and then all of the attachment points for the face masks and the snap posts and all that stuff kind of hold these things on, because then you can do more colors and designs. You can even do more than typically what we see out there, because they can print right on these things. So that should be an interesting development, and we will be doing videos later on this year talking about those.
Yeah, and Jay, I'm sorry, I was just listening to you, but looking at these comments, and people are paying attention, so we appreciate you really watching and checking this out. It looks like they want to see that Steelers helmet. We'll show you some of the helmets a little bit closer. We had some stuff on our list to talk about, but the comments are coming in that are pretty good. This one especially. So who's your favorite player from when we were kids? This is going to age us a little bit, but I definitely have 2 solid answers. If you want to go first, go ahead. But I have 2 great answers, and this is from SKO Lights. So we're gonna have to hook you up with something for free. Let us know if you're a player, a collector, or just a fan, so we know what to give you. But I'm gonna answer that.
Yeah, go for it, Steve.
Well, the reason I became not only a football fan, but specifically a Giants
Sounds like
fan.
you're going to say the same guy as me.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then when I got a touch older, Jerry Rice. There was something about those two guys. But if you weren't a fan of the real LT in the 80s, then you just weren't a football fan.
Yeah, and for me, I grew up in a Giants household in Connecticut where my father was a big Giants fan. He was actually worked in radio, and he actually broadcast some of the Giants games from the old Yale Bowl in New Haven when they played there way back in, I think, the 60s. Yeah, LT was the man, and as I got, when I really kind of got into it, Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, I just keep going back to, just such a class act of a guy. So those are the guys that I kind of went with.
The man would score a touchdown like a savage, put the ball down and walk away like nothing happened. That is class act, man. Really, really great question. That's fun. So thank you, SKO Lights. Did we get an answer? He's a player. What do you think, Jay? Oh, he's a running back.
He's a running back. How about a visor?
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So we're actually going to be putting these on our website soon. These are clear mirror visors from Shock.
Yeah.
But they kind of got screwed up a little bit in the factory, and the tint got put on them. And we're estimating that they're about an 80%, which means 80% of the light transmittance goes through the visor. So they're still clear. They're not really tinted. It's about an 80%. So we're actually going to be putting these up for sale at a discounted price. So we got a bunch of these. So we're going to be giving away a few of these today. And who was that again that won that? What was this?
SKO, what was SKO Lights.
SKO Lights. So good job with the question. That was a good one. Keep the good questions coming. Let's do another giveaway, Steve.
Okay.
How about another one of these Emblem Source? I'm going to pop over to Emblem Source while we talk about this one, and this one is going to be a super easy one.
You want to do this one?
Sure. So these are the 2019 CFB logos that were worn in the national championship. Actually, all four teams wore them in the playoffs.
These are the real deal.
Yeah, these are the real deal. And we're going to do an easy question for it here, easy answer. What is Steve's favorite color?
I say it all the time.
All the time. So if you've watched almost any number of shows, you'll know the answer to that one.
And thank you again. I know we keep saying it, but Emblem Source, they're not paying us or anything. They're honestly not. It's just that, yeah, they're sponsoring us by giving us some stuff that we can then give away to you. But this place, they are the real deal. They do everything, baseball, football, I mean, every sport. It's really unbelievable. And we get a lot of our stuff from them. I believe we're going to have some Green Gridiron patches in the future that we're going to be able to throw on hats and bags and stuff, so that's kind of cool.
And I'm looking at the comments, and we've got a flood of colors. It's like a rainbow all of a sudden. Rhino 77? Rhino 77. He probably knew the answer before I even finished the question. So
well, we
will contact you. Good job, Rhino, and good job to everybody else.
The answer is red. The answer is red.
Yes.
I just can't get enough. Some of the red helmets. I'm going to go grab one that we did recently. Yes. So check this one out. This one is from the Dinos. They are in Canada. An unbelievable school up there. They've only lost 3 games in the last 4 years. This is a Schutt F7 LTD. I'm sorry, VTD. Mm-hmm. And the satin red is just money, and we did some really cool stuff to this. We put on some black hardware, the 3D bumpers. They set in their decals. So if you want to see your school or your college or your semi-pro team, send us in the decals, and we will do a build live. Well, or maybe not live, but we'll do a build. Yeah. And we'll give your school some love.
And we are thinking about doing a build live. Want to find out from you, is that something that you'd be interested in seeing, where we bring out a bunch of shells, a bunch of different colored face masks, different styles, different color visors, and just kind of let you choose the direction of the you know, how we put this helmet together.
Exactly.
I really got to wrap my head around the logistics of all of that, because there's so many options, and we don't have all this stuff just sitting on the shelf at all times.
Correct.
But it would be a pretty fascinating thing to see, I think, to let
Yep.
to let you know, vote somehow. We'd have to kind of figure out a way to collect those votes quickly, so we can move it along. But that's something that we're thinking about as well.
So, Wolf Assassin 290, are you guys going to sell the F7 LTDs? Tomas, do we have one up here? The answer
do.
is yes. We
We have a few, actually.
we have a few. The LTDs are hot, and somebody asked in here, and I think this is a cool question, and we'll see if we want to answer this or not. If we were playing right now, what setup would we go with? I would like to answer that, but let's stick with this. This is the F7. This is the LTD. This is by far the new #1 rated helmet. It is up there with the best of the best. Super light. It's got the clips on the side, similar to the Speed Flex, but a little bit different. Nothing here up top. And when we're selling them, this is how they're going to come. Green gridiron chin strap, green gridiron front bumper. Yeah, check out the inside of this thing. Jay, what does it weigh? Like 3.3 pounds?
No, this is actually a little bit heavier.
Right. It's
you know,
a little heavier.
And I got to say that,
And that's super silver. What's it called?
well, this is high metallic.
High metallic.
So extreme silver. So we got all of our silver helmets painted. Basically, it's an upcharged silver color. So it's the same silver that the Patriots and the Carolina Panthers wear.
Yes.
It's just a much better silver. You know, Ohio State, all those guys. It's a lot more flake in the silver. You know, and you know, you made the comment that it scores the best on the Virginia Tech
Yes.
test. And I got to say, you know, it's one of the Virginia Tech test is a test that they give the answers to the test, and then they perform the test, and they see, you know, everybody gets ranked. So people, or the manufacturers, know how to, you know, build a helmet so it scores well on the test. And Virginia Tech has added some new elements to the test to test the rotational forces of the helmet as well. So it used to be just you know, a regular, you know, they would just drop test the helmets on a head form, or they would take kind of like a battering ram and ram an anvil into, or the battering ram into the helmet, and then they measure, you know, they have sensors inside the helmet, and they take the measurements from there. And now they've added some things to that. So you're going to start to see helmets that are being made not just for these direct hits, but also the glancing blows.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
those are just as important. I think that
If not more, because there's way more hits on the field that are glancing versus direct.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, it's amazing. We say it all the time. The cost of the helmets are going up. The technology and the research and the R&D that's going into the helmets are up there with, you know, NASA-level engineers. So, are you getting that money back when you spend this money? Yeah. The other thing is, the testing that's going into it is so much more advanced. Like Jay said, it used to just be you plop it here. Everybody who plays football knows those aren't real. So it's pretty interesting. And yeah, you can, like you said, they give you the answers to the test, but it's on them. And the people who are benefiting from the new technology is all of us, all the players, all the collectors.
And it all trickles down.
It all trickles down. So in the future, you know, in the short future from now, everybody's going to have their hands on these really great technology helmets, and it's not going to cost you $1,000, $1,500, $2,000. The cost will eventually come down. But
and there'll be new helmets with new technology that will then cost
Big
$1,000,
bucks.
$1,500, $2,000. I mean, that's not going to go away either.
I got a good one that we had on the board, and I don't remember if this was yours or Tomas's, but what was the favorite Super Bowl? What was your favorite Super Bowl, and what was mine? And I want the viewers to comment on what your favorite Super Bowl was going back. Do you have a favorite Super Bowl?
I don't know if I do, to be honest with you. I mean, it's probably going to be the same one as you, though, which is going to be, you know, the Eli Manning throwing the ball to Tyree. Yeah.
Yeah, 2007 Patriots, Giants. For many reasons, that was my #1. I think.
But also Giants-Bills, where the Bills missed the field goal. That was a great one, too. I mean, but again,
yeah,
the Giants are my second favorite team.
Correct.
So,
yeah.
typically around halfway through the season, once the Lions crap out, I turn into a Giants fan.
Yeah, I mean, for me, 2007, Patriots were 18-0. I mean, really an unbelievable. Everybody, the Giants, nobody even gave them a shot. I think they went in at like 9-7. They made it into the wild card, and then they went into the Packers. I mean, they shut down everyone. Eli got the hell knocked out of him with the 49ers, and they went in there and say what you want, man. They won it. And I mean, as a Giants fan, huge. But just as a football fan, and nobody really, wanted to see the Patriots win at that point, except for Patriots fans. What a great Super Bowl that was.
But let's talk about my pick for this Super Bowl.
There you
now
go.
It's an appropriate time
I was
to
waiting.
do it.
I was waiting.
And I would not be surprised if this goes down as the greatest Super Bowl in history. We saw what the Rams in the Kansas City Chiefs game turned into, and that was on Monday night. That was an unbelievable game to watch. And I think we're going to have, I have no idea what the over is, but I would take the over on this game. And I think it's going to be a shootout.
Yep.
And I think the refs are going to kind of let them play.
I hope so.
Because the refs are under a lot of scrutiny right now.
Yeah.
And they kind of need, the NFL needs to do something so people aren't talking about, we don't want to be talking about the refs on Monday.
No, and it's such a good point. But I agree. I do think it's going to be a shootout. I think the Patriots are going to win. I think the last time we saw something, 2001, 2002, when Tom Brady came in for Bledsoe, and that was that was Patriots Rams then, and we know what happened then.
And I think the Rams are going to get payback.
I think I would like to see that.
They're going to come out on top, and I don't think it's going to come down to the last play of the game, like in the past. But I think that I would not be surprised one bit if the Rams are going to put up 50 points plus.
What?
Yeah.
Are you saying the Rams are going to score 50 points?
Yeah, I'm saying the Rams are going to score 50 points. So let us know. Do you agree with me? And you know what? The Patriots might score 50 points too. All right?
We're going to have a 100-point Super Bowl? I don't know, man. I hope you're right.
Because, again, I think it's going to come down to the refs letting them play. And if the refs let a team play, especially on offense,
they're going to score.
There's going to be scores. And I think that's what we saw in that Monday night game is, it was run and gun all night long. And I don't even know how many score changes there were. I mean, we're not professional analysts, obviously. No. But I just think this is going to be a high-scoring game.
Hey, man, Stephen Haley wants to know what's our favorite NFL team logo. That's a cool question because that has nothing to do with your favorite team. Mm-hmm. So I'd like to give Mr. Haley a prize. So let us know if you're a player or collector. Guys, out back if you can let us know. What is your favorite logo?
I would say that if we're talking about current logos, I would think I would need to see them on. I need to kind of look at them in their totality.
True.
Do you have any of these guys back here? I like the things when I like it when there's meaning in the logo, like the Atlanta Falcons.
Yes.
Where the Falcon forms an F, right? And this is on our Chrome Falcons helmet.
I wonder how many people never actually noticed that this actually does form an F. Did you just know that? Be honest.
I think nowadays it's kind of common knowledge, right?
Maybe.
But I don't know. You've got the more classic logos, like the Bears and the Giants and the Packers and those guys, the teams that have been around for a long time, and they typically stay that way. I kind of like the Seahawks.
I'm going to go with Seahawks or Bengals.
Yeah, Bengals are cool.
Because it's just super cool. I mean, come on. How awesome is this? Super rare. You just don't see stuff like this. It's kind of like a mix of college and pro. So I'm going to go with Bengals. I just always like seeing the uniform. And I also like the Giants when it says Giants. I mean, the NY is fine, but when they do that color rush or they go back to those, I love it.
And I'll say when I was younger, I thought it was old and stale and didn't care for it at all. That's because I grew up in New England. But the Patriots with, was it Pat the Patriot?
That's right, yeah.
On the side, we don't have one of those helmets up in the studio right now.
No. I like that.
But now you take that logo and you put it on some of these current helmets.
Yeah.
And it just looks way cool.
It does. It's all about putting it on the current
right.
helmet.
We're back in the, the 70s or 80s or whenever they were wearing it. To me, it looks stale.
Yeah,
but I like it a lot now on more current helmets.
I could see that.
Probably a lot of those old ones, like the Broncos. With that old logo from the 70s.
You know what's cool too? The new Jaguars is pretty nice. I like that one too. What's your favorite NFL team logos or college? What's your favorite logos? Let us know. We're
Bucks.
curious.
With Bucko Bruce.
No, I never got that. It felt like a cereal box.
You're not a creamsicle
logo.
guy?
No, it's just everything about that team. We have a guy here, Ryan, that's a big Bucks fan, and I think he would probably appreciate that way.
Here's another one from Jeepers Creepers here. What's your favorite color rush uniform? I got to go with the I call it Seahawks green.
Yeah.
From that the Seahawks wear.
Yeah.
I think that those, the ones that are just
there's
some that are all red and all, the Giants all white. Yeah, it's a good look, but I don't think it's not different enough for me.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles when they wear their black. I think that is the coolest look. I wish more teams would do it. I think it's the best looking uniforms. I just
love the Lions black uniforms.
Yes.
They did years ago.
It's so
they did for
great.
like 1 year and 1 or 2 games. That was it.
Yeah, the AAF, which is coming out soon. I don't know if you guys have heard of it yet. There is some
Dolphins
interesting.
orange, very true. Andrew. Go
Oh
ahead.
yeah, there you go. There are some interesting uniforms and helmets. At first, I thought that there's a team, the Atlanta Legends, and at first I'm like, oh man, is this gaudy? Is this crazy? But I don't know. The more I see it, the more I like it. It's purple and gold. So we'll try to get into the AAF more and more as the video goes on. Shout out time. Oh yeah, this is great. Thank you. So Clint Richardson, we did a video for him. It's called Project Cold Case.
Oh yeah.
Super, super interesting. This guy, his father was actually murdered, and he devoted his life. He gave up his career to helping solve this case that went unsolved and helping others for people that have lost family members and the case went unsolved. And he has his whole thing. And he commissioned us to do some helmets, and I think he auctioned some off, and I hope that it helped.
Yeah, they had the event a couple of weeks ago where I think they had record attendance and they had record amount of money raised that's going to be going towards awareness of these these cold cases. I watched actually a program. If you're looking for something interesting to watch, I mean, talk about a cold case. I don't know, I think they actually described it as is it a dead case?
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
It was, hunting Hitler.
Jay loves it. I got to check it out now.
That show, man. 3 seasons they got out of that.
That's amazing.
They could have fit it into about an hour and a half if they wanted to, but
with all
pretty
the crap.
fascinating stuff if you're into history and all that kind of thing.
So shout out, Clint. Thank you very much, and I hope that you have continued success. I really, really do.
Warhawk 3136 wants to know, Steve, where's the Vader, the NFL Vader helmet? And I got to tell you, we did a video.
Good memory.
Yeah, really good memory. It almost feels like a year ago.
Yeah.
We've got a Darth Vader helmet, and we are going to be turning it into an NFL helmet. It is in the works, but it's got a ways to go. It's got a ways to go. So don't worry, it's coming. I think what we're going to do, and it might be towards the end of the year as the Star Wars mania starts to pick up. We've got all kinds of new Star Wars milestones, I guess, coming in the future. As if you don't know already, I'm a big Star Wars guy. But we've got a video. We've got the movie is going to be coming out, I'm assuming, next Christmas, and then we've got Star Wars Land or whatever the hell they're calling it down in Disney. That's making a lot of progress. We've got The Mandalorian that's going to be, I think, is already in production or they're already casting for it. That's going to be a new show on the Disney streaming network or whatever it is. I mean, there's a lot of Star Wars stuff coming, Steve.
Yeah.
Well, and so we're going to pick one of those things as kind of it's going to give us a nice solid day or to target because we're going to roll that thing out around one of these big events that's coming up in the Star Wars world.
Nice. So there's your answer.
There's a little update. But let us know, who do you want to see a Star Wars Darth Vader helmet?
Yeah, we're not going to do the Raiders or the Steelers. There's just too many of them. But let us know, other than those 2 teams, who do you want to see? Good memory, man. And yeah, we didn't drop the ball on it, but you know what I want to do, Jay? I can't do it from my phone because I'm running the camera from it, but we can announce or pick the winner of the Rams helmet we're giving away on greengridiron.com.
Oh, can we?
I just need to be able to go on to actually draw a winner. We don't pick the winner It's done by a computer randomizer. So when people ask, "Hey, no, we can't. We can't."
So you got
pick
your
you.
laptop over there that Kristen's using. You want to do it on there? I don't know if you
Yeah.
can do it from my iPad.
We gotta be on our back end of Shopify. So that's why.
Oh,
If
is
it's
that not,
something
is
we
that
can,
not on your laptop?
no, I don't know. If it's something we can figure out, I'm gonna look into that right now,
Let me-
because
let
if
me-
we
let-
can announce that
Let me,
live.
let me pop into Shopify real
Okay,
quick, and
yeah,
I'll see,
yeah.
because it's an app, and apps work
That's
different.
right. Yep.
Then
And in the meantime, while you're doing
let's
that,
start talking about the AAF a little bit.
yeah, let's
Or-
talk about the
or do you have
AAF.
another question?
No, it's okay. What I'm wondering is, who out there has heard of the AAF? What do you think of the AAF? And if you haven't heard of it, it's a league that's starting kind of right after the Super Bowl.
Start first games next week.
Yeah, which is smart on their part, and it's interesting. I think that it will not be a repeat of the XFL a couple of years ago. It's not. It's going to be pretty legit. There are tons and tons of ex-NFL players and coaches that are involved in some way or another, and I think it's going to be pretty impressive. The uniforms look really good. The helmets look good. And we're getting a bunch. We're getting a bunch of AAF helmets. Here we go.
Do your thing. So I'll talk a little bit about the AAF while you figure out how to do
Yeah.
that, Steve. So basically, every other Saturday we build a helmet, and then we give it away. So we've given away how many now, Steve? Like 8?
8. And plus 8 chin straps, 3 T-shirts, the whole
Yep.
deal.
Yep. So the last one we did was a Todd Gurley, pretty close to exactly what he wears on the field now. It's a collectible, or excuse me, it's a replica helmet, and it looks great. It's actually this one right here. It's not 100% exact to what he wears, but it's pretty damn close. Same face mask, chin strap, that kind of thing. But Steve, while you're doing that, or do you have it?
I can show the actually getting drawn if you
Yeah, well,
want.
so we'll show you how we pick a winner. We use an app that's connected to our Shopify page.
So I'm going to draw this winner right now, live. So the winner of the Rams helmet is Samuel Duncan from Indiana. And I'm not going to show this because it has his email and all that other stuff. But Samuel Duncan, you are the winner. Congratulations.
Yeah. So Samuel, if you're watching, congratulations. If not, Steve will be sending you an email shortly.
Yes.
And all you gotta do is follow the instructions in the email to claim your prize.
And speaking of prizes, we never got to give away that. Did that dude ever answer if he was a player or a collector? He's a player. I'm
Steve, pick it.
thinking, okay, I'm going to go with this. Let's give this man a Riddell large hard chin cup. This is for you. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to continue to give stuff away. Don't ask for free stuff. Just comment and give us good things to talk about. And if we pick you, we will be happy to give you something.
Yeah, so Steve, why don't you put the camera on me? I'm going to show some people. So I got this little update. Riddell sent this over to us because they just announced AAF helmets. We're going to be getting some of those in stock as a dealer. So there's 8 helmets, and there's also just an AAF helmet, right? So you can see here a little, can you see that here?
Yeah, you're in.
You can see that here. And they give us a little newsletter so we can kind of, educate ourselves about the league and so forth. So, I just want to read over some of this stuff to you because I haven't actually seen all of this out on the internet. I'm sure it's out there somewhere. It's probably on the AAF page, I guess. But, it starts February 9th, and I just want to go list some of the players who are connected, or some of the people who are connected to this thing. And this is why I think this league is going to be legit. It kind of got founded, the ideas of it started a couple of years ago. It explains in here. And it's, Charlie Ebersol, which is the son of Dick Ebersol. He's the founder and CEO, and they basically did their research and they found that after the Super Bowl, there are literally tens of millions of fans that just stop watching sports. Like, they're not interested in, waiting for baseball and basketball and all that. And kind of, to be honest with you, I used to be big into all sports. I don't watch those nearly as much either. And there's this huge letdown and people are starving for football.
It's depressing.
You know, and not for nothing, you see, I mean, we see it right here in our own backyard over at Clemson. You know, the spring game at Clemson, they draw like 50,000 people. Same thing at like Ohio State and these big schools, because our people are shifting. Like, that's the only football they can get. I mean, they're basically going and watching a scrimmage where they know everybody's not at 100%.
I know, but at least it's football.
But it's something.
Yeah, and this league looks like it's going to fill that void.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to take away from that so much. When I first heard about the AAF, I thought it was basically the NFL trying to put the brakes on the XFL, because the XFL is coming out next year. I haven't really heard anything about it much recently, but the AAF looks like it's going to be backed by some pretty big names here. So on the board of trustees the board of advisors for the AAF, got Troy Polamalu, Jared Allen, Justin Tuck, Hines Ward, and J.K. McKay. Those are some pretty big names. And for the coaches of these teams, you've got Dennis Erickson, Nick, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Not Neuheisel? Neuheisel, right?
I'm going to trust you on that one, man.
I think it's Neuheisel in Arizona. Brad Childress in Atlanta. Mike Singletary in Memphis. Mike Martz in San Diego. Mike Riley in San Antonio. Tim Lewis in Birmingham. Steve Spurrier in Orlando. And then Erickson is in Salt Lake. Those are all big names. We've all heard of them.
They are.
And then you've got, we're close to Atlanta, so we see a little bit more. But, Mike Vick is going to be one of the, I think he's the offensive coordinator, possibly?
Yeah, for the
Atlanta team.
Yep.
And I saw some questions coming in about, who's our favorite team, what teams are we going to follow. I got to say, I'm holding out, and I want to watch a few games and then see kind of how it goes, and then pick the team that kind of I gravitate towards the most. I'm a little bit partial to Atlanta because we're close. I'm going to imagine we're going to go down to Atlanta, where it's only a couple hours away, for a game there to check it out. My mother is from Memphis, so I have some Memphis ties.
There you go.
And I think that's my favorite helmet right out of the gate.
But I agree. I don't want to just pick a team for the sake of, and I don't want to be a front runner and see who. Like, I want to develop my own favorite team. It might take a whole season to figure that out, and I suggest everybody does that too. Don't go into this season, already knowing who your favorite is, because you might be in for a huge letdown too. And this is interesting. Bo Vids asked, and I mentioned this before. Do you think that the AAF is going to allow big grills? Thank you for the comment, Bo. I hope so, but I doubt it. I think it's going to be a development league for the NFL, so you're going to see some real talent that will potentially be in the AAF one year and then the NFL the next, and they're probably going to have a lot of the same rules. But they might use the AAF as an experiment to try out new rules before they go implementing it in the NFL. So you might see some interesting, cool stuff, maybe some, different things. I doubt they're going to allow big grills, but man, just let them wear big grills. From everything that I'm hearing about how fan-centric they're going to be, I think that they are going to be doing some things that is like they don't allow in the NFL. They don't plan to allow in the NFL, and I'm it's just going to see how far are they willing to let it go, because they still have to control everything. Because if you give too much freedom, guys are going to figure out ways to take advantage of it, and then you're not going to kind of get the result that you want, and we don't want that either. Correct.
So it'll be interesting to see. But are you going to be watching the AAF? I know we are, because we're kind of in it.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait for it.
Oh my goodness, this is great. The what's up?
Are you doing something about?
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Bo? You want some decals or something?
Is Bo a player or a collector?
I'm thinking we give him a GG decal, we give him an embossed tech, and we're happy to hook you up. Does this make you happy? I hope so. Thank you for the question. Keep the good comments coming, like this one. Animal 12311. I don't know. Stop with all the numbers. Wants to know who's just our favorite quarterback. Simple, easy question.
Well, you already named him.
I already named them. Yeah, but we didn't actually say, you know, when, what era. Do you have a favorite quarterback like of ever? Did we say that already? No, right?
I don't think so, but I'm gonna go with my favorite guy right now.
Your favorite guy right now?
Yeah, which I mean he could be my favorite quarterback ever.
I'm gonna say Mahomes.
No.
Not Matt Stafford.
Yeah,
Don't you
Matt
say
Stafford. Matthew Stafford.
Jay.
Lions, man. I love the guy. I think that he's maturing. I don't I don't think it's Matt Stafford's fault that the Lions haven't
Like
made it to
Eli.
the promised
It's
land.
not Eli's fault either, though. Yeah. So I agree.
No, you got to build a team around him, and
Yeah.
all these guys, you got to have a team around them, or they're not going to perform. I don't care who you are. If you don't have a team around them,
Yep.
you're not going to be. You put Tom Brady on some of these other teams that just haven't built the team around the quarterback.
It's over.
Yeah.
This is I'm going to say for 2018
But
season.
Steve, I also got to say, I like Matt Stafford for a lot of reasons, and
Yeah.
it's not necessarily 100%.
You like his
because
Instagram.
because he's in the pocket. Well, he doesn't have one as far as I know,
Oh,
but I
his-
do follow his wife, and she's got a great Instagram. I got a couple of cute kids, and I got a
Yeah.
couple of kids, so they're all. It's
All
interesting
right.
to see how that dynamic. I know it's kind of a little nerdy, I guess.
No, it's cool. It is what it is, man. For me, for 2018, it was Patrick Mahomes. I could not get enough of watching the Chiefs. I've never said those words before in my life. I couldn't have cared. I just didn't care about the Chiefs. They were okay. I liked it when Reed went over there because I liked him leaving the Eagles. But I don't know, man. Mahomes is an absolute savage. His 50 touchdowns. I mean, the records, it's phenomenal. I like his setup. We actually did his exact Vices build. Good old number 15, man. He's on something good.
And I'm going to say, I'm not really a fan of quarterbacks. And part of that reason is, or especially kind of the way that the league has changed rules to really protect these guys. It almost feels like sometimes, especially in the beginning of this year, remember when they were calling wasn't the targeting call or whatever,
Lowering the helmet rule.
lowering the helmet rule, and it was like, come on, let these guys.
Yeah.
This is football,
Yeah.
right? And so I feel like quarterbacks in general just don't appeal to me because they're not playing the same game as everybody else. I don't feel like they are anyway. Like I get the kicker, you want to protect the kickers when
Yeah.
their legs are up in the air. They're really, and definitely
sure.
protect the wide receivers when they're going across the middle and that
Yep.
kind of stuff. But the quarterbacks seem to have a completely different rule book that they play by.
Well, we saw it the last game with Tom Brady with that roughing the passer where, didn't even get touched, and they're so overly protected where people get pissed and they're like, just put him in bubble wrap. I mean, we get it. Keep your head out of the game. Don't lead with it. Be smart about it. I always like to say, if you wouldn't have done that play without a helmet on, don't do that play. The helmet's still there, of course, for to protect from bad collisions or accidents, but the quarterbacks are so overly protected, it's insane. And again, we'll see what the AAF does. Because we've said it before, if you want to protect the quarterback so bad, then make it to where he can't run. Because it's not
Or
right.
something, yeah.
Yeah, they got to do something.
And here's an interesting one I want to touch on real quick. Do you like the Rams or the Patriots Super Bowl uniforms more? The Rams are going to be wearing their, I guess their throwbacks, they call it, and that's from Zachary. Where is it here? Zachary Clark. So thanks for that one, Zachary. I got to say, overall, I like the Rams uniforms better. But I think it's kind of cool when the Patriots, we were talking about this the other day, we were going through some pictures and we saw Tom Brady was wearing for whatever reason, he's wearing his Under Armour cleats. I'm like, it's Nike is the uniform of the NFL, but with the cleats that are able to kind of show off other brands. But it seemed like for a while, Tom Brady was doing that thing where I don't even know what you call it, where the socks or whatever kind of went
he had
over the cleats.
the legs to look old timey.
Yeah, and I always thought that was really cool, and I always thought it would be cool for the entire Patriots team to do that, because if any team could do that, and if you're not sure what I'm talking about, it's kind of like putting a strap under the bottom of the cleat so the sock or whatever it is, the stirrup, the strap covers the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because was part of the uniform during the Revolutionary War that the soldiers wore in World War I. You see it when you look at those movies. And I thought that would be a cool thing for the Patriots just to make part of their uniform.
Yeah,
I get why they don't, but
I
think that
agree.
would be super cool.
I think the Rams are going to look good today. Their uniforms are going to look tight. I mean the coloring. We talk about it. Which helmet decals are the best? I mean, personally, I like the white or the gold. That bright yellow did nothing for me. I thought it was rough. But I want to hear from the Rams fans. This is a great one right here by Lucas, and we got to make sure we hook him up. Would we like to see any current NFL team relocate? Great question.
Oh, yeah.
And the answer is hell yeah. I know you have a good one right
Well,
out of the gate.
I think the Raiders.
Yep.
I
Mexico?
think it will make sense for them to be in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
But Las Vegas is kind of a transient city. Yeah, there are a lot of people obviously that live there, and they're going to probably become Raiders fans, and there's probably already a lot of Raiders fans there, as is anyway, and it's going to be a great destination place for people to go, fly in and out. It's super easy to see games and so forth. But I would not be surprised one bit. In Las Vegas, as game in and game out, you almost have as many or more fans of opposing teams getting into the stadium or coming into Vegas just to support the festivities, from the opponents. I think they should have gone to Mexico City. I think you would have had a country ignited
on your side.
They played a couple of times in Mexico City. I think it's a higher elevation than Denver's Mile High Stadium, so they would have a kind of an advantage there. But you would literally have an entire country behind you, and you would become more of an international presence as well.
I think I would agree 100%. It's not going to be a popular decision. If Vegas is just a train wreck, right? So you're not going to have that long standing fan base, like you said, because it's people in, people out, but they'll have some fun at least, but maybe too much fun. I'd like to see the New York Giants relocate to where they already are,
to New York?
New Jersey. They are the New Jersey Giants.
Steve.
And just listen, the Meadowlands, East Rutherford, it is clearly in New Jersey. New Jersey taxpayers, I lived there for a long time, are footing the bill to go New York.
And there was a push
New
for
Jersey
a while,
Giants.
when I was living up in New York City, to have a stadium built over on the west side. I think it would have been fantastic to do that. As soon as a new mayor came in, took the kibosh. We don't need to get into politics and all that. But I did want to mention, this is something I've brought up in other videos before. I think it would be fantastic for teams to play, I'm thinking 1 or 2 games a year in college stadiums they're near. For us,
Yes.
I saw
Panthers.
the Panthers play in Death Valley when I was a student way back in the day.
Yep.
And to me, they're the Carolina Panthers. They're not the North Carolina Panthers. Yeah, they might practice in South Carolina sometimes.
I agree.
But I would think it would be phenomenal to see them go on a little tour where sometimes they play in Williams-Brice down in Columbia, Death Valley in Clemson.
Yep.
They could even go to UNC, the stadiums, a couple of stadiums in North Carolina. And I think it would be cool to see, I don't know, Pittsburgh Steelers play at Penn State, or the Lions to play at Michigan. I think stuff like that, and it really makes those games a little bit more unique. I get why they don't.
Right.
But from a fan's perspective, why not? If I have a season ticket, wouldn't I enjoy going to see them play in another
100%.
stadium?
Yep.
The logistics would be an absolute nightmare for the teams to figure out and all that kind of stuff, but I think it would be fantastic. Princeton is going to be playing, Princeton, we touched on it earlier, Princeton played Rutgers in the first football game ever.
Yeah.
And they're going to be, Princeton is going to be playing in Yankee Stadium in November.
That's awesome.
And I think that's going to be I think that's going to be phenomenal. The Notre Dame does it, and you'll see, obviously they have the Pinstripe Bowl in the Yankee Stadium, but doing stuff like that, and, teams have done it in Fenway.
Yep.
But just kind of bringing it out there. I think that's something that's they can do to make it better for the fan base. So let us know what you think about that. And we had a super chat, or we had a donation here for $1.99. So I feel compelled. It's not something that we asked for, but it's definitely much appreciated. And that $1.99 is going to go right back into the show. Are you guys getting Navy Speed helmets back in stock? And that's from I can't pronounce the name, so I'm not going to try.
Right.
I think it's Reen.
Okay.
or Ren.
Thank you.
Rian. But the answer for that is we do a big order with Riddell in the fall, early winter. Once those come in, we put them up on the website. We are going to be doing another order shortly, and we're going to be adding Navy helmets of Speed and Speed Flex. The Speed helmet.
Just remember the speed, though.
The Speed helmets are actually they've been discontinued. So
You heard that.
and it's not that the Speed shell has been discontinued. Now the baseline Speed helmet is the Speed Icon.
So we've done a video on that before, but the big difference between the Speed and the Speed Icon, it's very clever, and you will be winning if you buy one. They've basically taken the padding and the technology that goes inside the Speed Flex, and they've applied it to the inside of a Speed. So it still looks and feels like a Speed, but when you put it on, it's kind of close to the feel of a Speed Flex, which if anybody's put a Speed Flex on your head, it's like sitting in a Mercedes. It's a nice helmet.
Yep, there's they've got obviously they've got the liner that goes on the inside, but they've also got a couple other little creature comforts like the valve screws. So it's to me it's a much better process as far as putting helmets together and taking them apart than the old Speed Classic. And also the Speed Icons come with clips for HS4 face masks. So Riddell has basically discontinued their regular carbon steel face masks, and they're going to be 100% stainless steel face masks. It's the same stainless steel or gauge stainless steel that they use with the Speed Flex face masks. So they've kind of made those couple little tweaks to the helmet and said, you know what, this is the future. This is the direction that we're moving in, along with all the other technology that we're doing. So they're just moving that direction. So we will have some of those before spring.
They're coming.
They're coming.
And a quick shout out to, I mentioned it before, but Jorge Garcia. What a great dude. He's one of our biggest super fans. He needs an answer, Jay, on a Speed Flex, which we are not going to get into in this video. But we didn't forget you, I promise. I got two really great ones.
Okay.
Just great. So somebody wants to just know personally, how did we meet? And like, how did we even get into doing this? I think that's pretty cool. And that's from John Fury.
Well, basically, Steve, you have a neighbor.
Yes.
Who's a strong mama.
That's right.
And I have a wife who's a strong mama.
A Strong Mama is a personal training company here by a friend of ours, mutual now.
Jess.
That's Jess.
Why don't you give Strong Mamas a shout out?
Shout out Strong Mamas out there. She's able to take like your kid and kind of incorporate it into a workout.
Yep.
Pretty
They're boot camps that go around to parks and other areas, and it's basically a bunch of moms, new moms typically with kids between 0 and, I don't know, 3 years old or so, 4 years old or so.
Yes.
Where they all kind of work out together. So the exercises that are specifically geared toward mothers who are who have recently had a baby.
So what they did was she had a gathering. My neighbor said, hey, you should come by. So we just went, and Jay and I met the way all good relationships start, over a beer. And if anybody remembers when we first started our show, we used to open the show with a beer. We'd talk about it, maybe a little bit too long, but we figured out our audience was either too young, some of them didn't care, but we're going to start doing some beer again. And we just got to talking over a beer. Hey, you're a football fan. Oh, Giants. Oh, Lions. Oh, you're a photographer. Jay was in a need as a business owner to take the business to a new level, and
the
Heads Up show was born.
The idea hatched, and then it was one of those things where Steve was going to be the expert on beer, and he was going to educate me on all the different types of beers out there, and that's how the show was created. And then I was kind of the expert on how to put these helmets together, so I was educating him. He would ask questions coming from a noob on putting helmets together, and I would ask questions coming from a noob on all the different types of craft beers out there. And what we kind of figured out relatively quickly, within a couple of months, is that people were far more interested for the football side of things, which kind of makes sense for us. But we know that some of you out there really enjoyed the beer part. Well, we'll bring a beer back here and there, I suppose. But
here's a good segue for a nice trivia question.
Sure.
The name of the show.
Yeah. So let's give away another embossed tech. How about another 150th patch? Because we have a few of these.
There you go. That's the real deal 150th patch. And it will go to the first person that tells us, how did we come up with the name of the show, the Heads Up Show? I think that's cool. And then did you see there's another donation?
Yeah, there's a couple of them popping in here.
So thank you guys, because you're dropping some cash to get your comments, and we really, really appreciate that. So we don't want to miss you.
Yeah, Football Fanatic asks, please make a app Sports Star chin strap video. I'm not sure exactly if the question there is asking us to make an app or to make a video, but Football Fanatic, thank you very much. He's actually given 2 donations, and he also says, I love the work, keep it up, and very much appreciated there as well. And we have actually done videos specifically about chin straps, and we certainly can do some more, because we're actually going to be getting some new chin straps in, unbranded. I'll just kind of leave it at that, but once they come in, we're going to do another chin strap video talking about those. And then we have Bobby Bustamante.
That's a cool name.
If I'm pronouncing that right. Bustamante?
Either way, it's sweet.
Bustamante? Is it possible to black out a youth speed helmet? So, Riddell, I don't believe, offers blackout packages for youth helmets, because we've tried to order them before and they don't come in to us that way. It's possible you could contact Riddell directly and they might do one for you, kind of as a custom. In theory, it's possible, I suppose, but you're basically got to take the adult padding and putting it into a youth helmet. Now you're kind of, you have...
The inflation points are different, right? There's additional ones.
The material of the shell is a different material.
That too.
I have heard rumors that they're going to be, the helmet companies in general are going to be, I don't remember if it's Shutter or Riddell, is going to be basically using the same polycarbonate shells for adult into the youth helmets, but I'm not 100% on that. So I would say the short answer is not through us, but you can contact Riddell directly and they might be able to point you kind of in the right direction for that.
Yeah, good question.
Now, with that said, we do have actually 3D bumpers with our logo on them.
Yes.
That are black that you could purchase and then just bolt them right onto the helmet on the speed that fits with, underneath the screws.
Cheap and easy.
Screw clips, and we're actually going to be getting in here shortly some back bumpers that we're going to be, that say Green Gridiron on the back, that are going to be black. We're going to have them in black and in white. Yep. Because people keep asking for them, so I'm like, all right, yeah, let's put them on the website and sell them so other people can do it. And we really we love seeing our logo out there. We've got it. Totally. We kind of put our logo kind of all over everything. Yeah. So I think it's cool. I like it. So good questions there. I see a hand in the back row.
What do you got? Two things. One, the Hatch Bovids got that one it's a contest between viewers.
Yeah.
For the question.
That's how we did it.
Bovids got it again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we basically, it was like our first or second video that we did. I think we kind of said, hey, help us figure out the name of the show. We kind of, in the beginning, we promoted the show on all of our other social media, so we kind of got, we got a pretty good following, a few hundred or 1,000 subscribers, pretty much right out of the gate. And then we had hundreds of different comments on what we should name the show, and we went with the Heads Up Show because at the time we were talking about beer, which obviously has a head, and football helmets, obvious there too. So we that's where we came up with the name of the show.
I remember the name of the viewer that chose the winning name.
Here we go.
By the name of Adam's Apple.
Adam's Apple.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah. So that was great. Good job. This is a pretty good one. Robert Barreras says, just talk about Khalil Mack's helmet. I love his setup.
Yeah, so he's wearing I'm going to be doing this one from memory.
You got this.
So he's doing he wears a Schutt F7 VTD. He's got the quarter turn clips all the way around. That's how we get our helmets in from Schutt. So we've got Green Gridiron Edition Schutt F7 VTDs, and then we're going to be launching the LTDs very shortly. Both of them come with all 4 quarter turns, and you see a lot of the NFL VTDs and actually Schutt helmets in general using those quarter turns. They're super easy to pop on and off. When you're swapping out the face masks. And then I'm thinking he wears, I don't recall what chin strap he wears off the top of my head. And the face mask, I don't even remember what face mask.
I don't know.
But he's wearing a VTD.
And if you've been tuning in lately, What is it?
T-Ropo DWNB.
TROPO-DW-NB. NB stands for no brow.
Thank you, research department in the back. We have been doing a new series we started about 3 weeks ago, helmet reviews. So you submit the players with the coolest setups from the past or current, and who do you want to see? So we've done some really great ones. We did a Joe Tooney from the Patriots. Not a really popular name, but check his numbers and his stats out. First player in NFL history to be in the Super Bowl
To start.
as a starter first 3 years. So every single year that he's been in the league, 3 years in a row, he's Super Bowl as a starter. Unbelievable. He's left guard, but he kind of bounces around to right guard. So
And he's got a unique face mask.
and he has a really unique face mask. Very cool.
So
So go check that video.
And
out.
I've got a question here. Are we accepting deliveries of local beer from countries around the world? And actually, the answer is yes. We've
Yes.
already had some come in from Germany.
Yep.
From
Haas-Mask. Thank you,
we've-
Michael.
Yeah, thank you very much, Michael, there. And what's great about that is we get to taste stuff that we wouldn't normally get to taste unless we go to that country.
Yeah, we have.
And that was a good beer.
It was really good beer. And again,
And that's from my sister asked that question. She's trying to get she's trying to get involved. So my sister Bunny, thank you, Bunny.
some
Love
family
you.
love. Bunny's the best. Great artist. Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Yeah. Yes, she is a great artist.
Yeah,
She is a great
you
artist.
gotta embrace
we
that.
Love that. Oh, we got one here from Enzo 458. Donated $3.99 to get his question asked. Is what is the best O-line helmet?
oh man. Well,
So, this is a question we get a lot. We've gone over this in other videos. I do not personally think that there's a best helmet period for everybody. And we talk about, we were literally just talking
question.
about this the other day.
Yep.
Steve is a large head. I'm a large head. For me, the Speed Flex fits my head, the shape of my head, better than any other helmet that I put on my head. Steve, on the other hand, the
Yeah.
F7,
the F7's the
large.
most comfortable. The F7 large fits me like it was tailored to my egg.
and I've worn I've worn Zenith helmets.
Yeah.
I've worn the Speed, which is technically the same size as, sizing and shape and all that, but the Speed Flex for me kind of feels the best. I have not worn a properly sized Visus helmet, so I don't know how that would feel, but I hear a lot of people say once they put that Visus helmet on their head, it's the most comfortable helmet that they've ever worn. So for an O lineman, I would say depends on the shape of your head.
Fitment is so crucial. It's very, very important. And we always say, just try on helmets. See if try on, somebody from your squad has a helmet that you want to put it on your head. See how it feels. If you can run around, get some moves, maybe get knocked around a little bit, that's the real test. It's not easy, we know, but there's no good answer for that. But you're right. I mean, it depends on your head. I have a shut head. So, but in all fairness, I never really got to try on a proper sized Visus helmet, and I have a feeling that
I'm sure
it's a great helmet.
I mean, we hear it so often,
Yeah.
and we've heard people say the exact same thing about the Shut F7s and Shut Vengeance and the Speed Flex and the Speed. I mean, everyone's got their opinion on what the best helmet is,
Yeah.
but it's the best for them because everybody's so different.
Very different. Josh just is saying Gronk's, Speed Flex. Yeah, maybe, sure. Okay,
yeah, we
go
did
Gronk.
we did a Gronk. We did a Gronk Blaze helmet video
Yeah.
back in the day. That's back when he was wearing a Speed. That one came out
Yeah,
pretty
that was
good.
neat. That was neat.
There was another one here that I saw that I wanted to answer. Do y'all think, this is from Patrick McLean, do y'all think the face mask Ray Lewis wore in his last game should be a face mask anyone can wear in a game? And the answer to that is obviously from us, yes. We think that all of those big grill face masks should be allowed.
Let him play.
And I don't think he was wearing a titanium, but I know Justin Tuck's face mask was a titanium version of it, so if weight is a concern and you're trying to keep the weight down, then I would say certainly adding an extra half a pound onto your helmet could be something that you're going to feel for sure, at least until you have the developed neck strength to wear it and carry it around all game. But if it's a titanium mask, I mean, literally that Ray Lewis mask in a titanium version is the same exact weight, maybe even a little bit less than face masks that most quarterbacks wear.
Yeah.
So if you're going to, they have, arguably the least amount of metal on them. So I don't think weight is a valid argument. If you wanted to come out with a weight limit, or if the league wanted to come out with a weight limit, say, hey, you can't wear masks over, say, 1.2 pounds.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, great,
fine,
do that. Now
Yeah.
you've kind of drawn that line in the sand. Or the NFL also kind of claimed that the masks, the big grill styles, you could have players could get their fingers kind of caught in the bars, and I'm
not buying it. I can't get my fingers in there, and look at the size of me.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to touch the masks anyway. So
Yeah,
if
you
get
deserve it.
To me, if you get your finger caught in a mask and your finger breaks,
Yeah.
well, then you know what? It's your own damn fault.
It's not nice, Jay, but you're right. Matthew Bible, yes, if Aaron Rodgers goes to a Vices, we will be doing an Aaron Rodgers Vices build. I promise you that. And it better have a legit chin strap other than that silly thing he wears now. But yeah, they're coming, I promise. Next year, we're going to have some pretty insane builds coming up. In 2018, we did 53 helmet builds, and we appreciate you watching them all. It was a lot. We did a lot of giveaways. greengridiron.com. If you haven't been there yet, go check out our website. Let us know what you think. Yeah, I take all the pictures for the website, so I want real input. Do you like the way the website looks? If there was something you would change, what would it be? What do you think, Jay? I mean, it's come a long way, but we've last year had almost 1 million people come to our website. This year we're looking at 1.3, 1.5 million.
And Steve, you're absolutely right. Our style has changed, and it has gradually kind of gotten to the place where we want to be. I will say that we are never happy, and we're never satisfied 100%, but we are happy when we see that we do something that's getting great feedback, and just like with this show, we're letting you kind of direct what we talk about. That's what's important to us, because we've got our own ideas for a lot of stuff in the direction that the company's going, and the videos and all that kind of thing. But the reality is, we want your feedback and your input, so we can make sure that we're, doing everything that you want to see.
Yep.
But let's do some shout outs, Steve.
Let's do that real quick. This is just for Braden wants to know what's our favorite Oregon helmet. And
yeah, that's a good one.
This is a beauty that we made. I mean, just look at this thing. Outstanding. This, to me, this color, this whole look.
They've got so many great helmets.
Yeah. What's your favorite?
Yeah, how about that? So, again, this video is sponsored by our good friends over at the Emblem Source. Let's do another giveaway. But while we're doing this, Steve, let's see. How about this? Let's do some more of these, for all you baseball fans out there. Give your answer to the question, and then end it with either FLA or ARZ. Tomas, if there's no FLA or ARZ at the end of their comment, they don't win.
Whoa.
All right? We'll see how good people can follow instructions. So, here's an easy one, Steve. We're gonna do 2 questions here.
All right.
And while we're waiting for these answers to come in, we're going to do a couple of shout outs. What is the official style code for the following 2 players? You only need to get one right to win. So you can answer either one, and there's going to be 2 different winners.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
So Baker Mayfield, OBJ.
Oh man, great. Keep them in and let us know which one you want. Just remember, it's got to say FLA or ARZ, whichever one you want. It's yours.
Yep. So while that's going on, I want to give a shout out. We already talked about Adventure Athlete, how you need to go check out his video during the halftime show. He's going to be dropping footballs from his drone. I think he said like 150 feet. That's kind of high, right?
It's kind of high, and if nothing else, it's just a cool idea.
I mean, at 10 feet per story, that's like from a 15-story building.
So the ball will be doing about 80, 90 miles an hour probably by the time he catches it, right? Terminal velocity is 121 miles an hour.
Drop it 9.8 meters per second squared.
Whoa!
Right? Yeah,
we're getting deep up in here.
So I also wanted to give a shout out to I Know Football. He is in Atlanta right now, and so go check out I Know Football's video, or excuse me, not video, but his channel on YouTube. He's probably one of the biggest football fan.
You guys should know him by now, but if you don't,
sure, Matt. And he went to the Super Bowl last year, did some cool kind of behind the scenes videos. He's doing more this year. I think he was, I saw on Instagram, he was catching balls from Trubinsky.
Yeah.
So he's from Chicago, so I'm sure he lined that up
fun,
somehow.
man.
He's pretty well connected, but he's going to have some good stuff in there.
Yep.
And then, just kind of the regular guys that we, follow on YouTube, and they follow us on YouTube, and they kind of all grow their channels together. Lineman Football, Tony up in Canada. QBHD.
There's so many.
I know, I'm drawing a blank here. There are a bunch.
Well,
who's our boy in Australia?
Oh, it's well, I call him by his name, Jacob McDonald, but it's MKP.
MKP, yeah.
Yeah, and he's transitioned his life, but big shout out. He's doing some different stuff, and if you haven't checked his show out, definitely go check his show out. We love giving support and love to other YouTubers because it's a lot of work.
And we're always kind of looking for new guys too, so let us know what other football channels you guys watch, because we're actually we're kind of planning some stuff where we're gonna do a little meetup. I don't know if it's really considered a meetup, a collaboration, I guess, with some of these guys. And we're looking to get, I'm gonna say anywhere from 14 to 21 or 20 guys together, maybe put on a flag football type event, which I think would be pretty cool. Let us know how you feel about that.
We would love to do that.
I think it would be pretty cool to get kind of us all together, and I know that I've talked to some of these other creators about that. It wasn't my idea. That was actually Clark's idea, Adventure Athlete, that he kind of told me about it, so he's going to be spearheading that. But somewhere in 2019, I would not be surprised one bit if we kind of get a bunch of these guys together, and we'll see how that goes. So,
do we have a winner?
Do we have a winner?
It's tough. So the big thing we're seeing is people are putting the SP in 808, which technically they're not wrong, but on our site it's not listed like that. But
well, I think that's okay.
Well, it's, the question was, what's the official code? And I know that they, Riddell will drop the SP from some style code. So if you put the SP, you're not wrong that it's an SP style mask, but it's not the official code. So
not official.
then we do have a winner.
So we do have a winner then. So let's hear it.
It's Warhawk 3136.
Warhawk 3136, and that's a name that
He's a big commenter.
Yeah, and that's someone who we've seen that name for a long time.
Sorry, Destroying Man. That was the other dude. That was the other guy. Yep. Thank you, by the way. People are.
So that's Warhawk. Comments. So do we have another one? So which one did he get? Did he get the Baker or the OBJ?
The OBJ.
OBJ.
So the OBJ obviously is the CUS2BDSW. And the Baker, do we have a Baker winner?
If not, work on it. If you ever hear in the videos, Jay, I would love to do this. I know I'm going to put you on the spot here, but you should test Jay's knowledge with face mask codes because it's insane. He probably knows 450, 500, whatever face mask codes like that. It's weird.
Steve, I don't know them all. But
80,
the ones that make
90%.
sense, and I'll beat up all of the manufacturers a little bit, is sometimes that their codes don't make sense themselves 100% of the time. So most of them, there's a formula for them, and once you kind of learn the formula, you can just figure it out. But not all of them. So who we got as a winner for the Baker?
JP Chong.
JP Chong.
That name does not ring a bell, so good for him.
Yeah,
man.
JP, thanks for that. And that's the CU dash S2BDSW808.
And
right?
made wildly popular by Marcus Mariota.
Yes, and I would not be surprised one bit if he switches over to the HS4 version next year, or potentially a Speed Flex. We shall see, because again, Riddell is no longer making, or they have, we'll just say this, they have discontinued the carbon steel masks. They still have some in inventory, but once they're gone, they're gone. And I wouldn't be surprised one bit if OBJ and Baker Mayfield want to continue to wear carbon steel because that's what they've been wearing. Guess what? They're going to keep making them for them.
Absolutely, dude. I got a pretty fun one here. What's your thoughts on Madden franchise, and what would we like to see them do as far as like teams, logos, and gameplay? And I have a very easy, quick answer. I think Madden is amazing. I mean, it's come such a long way. I used to play it a lot more. I just don't anymore. I just don't have the time. However, I don't like how they don't use the right style codes, like they have the robot and all these other things. I think they need to contact us and work with us to help really identify the real codes.
And I've actually talked to one of the developers over there, or should I say one of the continuity guys over there, and that's actually something that they have considered, and they don't think the fan base or the people who play the game know what those codes are, so they kind of have made up their own, robot and 3-bar, 2-bar, all that kind of stuff. To me, those types of codes are vastly kind of watered down what the real codes are. I would say, and they don't disagree with me, but they're kind of trying to do something. They don't want to confuse the fan base too much. But you let us know, and maybe let them know by leaving your comments below, and they can go read them, is what would you like to see that? Would you like to see the actual official codes from the manufacturers in the game, so you know exactly what these things are called?
Yeah, great question. And you know what I just realized, man? We got a good comment coming our way from John Franklin, I believe. I would love to know. What does it say, Kristen? Just shout it out.
I'm very happy with all the equipment we bought from you for DeMont University in the UK. They have over 80 university teams playing football here in the UK.
Whoa.
Big shout out and thank you. We're happy to help you, and we appreciate you coming to us, and we really appreciate that. You know what I just saw, Jay?
What's that?
It's 12 o'clock.
It's 12 o'clock, 12:03 actually by my clock.
It's
So we've been
amazing.
talking for 2 hours now. So we're gonna, at some point, we're gonna have to kind of announce that we're gonna be wrapping this thing up.
Yeah,
but you
but
know,
we're having
with
fun.
with that comment from, what was it, DeMont University?
DeMont, yeah.
DeMont University down in Australia. Funny enough, football outside the U.S. is growing, where kind of for the last few years, not only has football within the U.S. been shrinking as far as number of kids who play. From what I hear, every single sport in the U.S. has been shrinking except lacrosse. But outside the U.S., football is growing, and we see it growing all over the world. And Steve, you were just telling me today that you saw something that the CFL and Germany
yep.
are kind of doing a joint thing.
They're in cahoots.
They're not going to combine the leagues per se, but they're doing something where the Canadian or CFL is encouraging German football players to come play in the CFL and vice versa, or to go to college in one country to kind of learn the rules and kind of come up through the ranks,
Yeah,
which is
that's
interesting.
exciting.
And I wouldn't be, what that basically says is that Germany has made it to a level with their football that the higher levels are starting to take notice. I would not be surprised one bit if Australia is going to get to that level too. And women's football, full contact women's football,
I want to see that.
Is popping up in more places outside the U.S. to where the universities have women's teams, which they don't have in the U.S.
And I'm typically not a fan, I'll admit, of women's sports. I mean, I'm just not. But have you ever seen some of these shows like the what's the show like where they have to do the combat testing and all that stuff? Dude, these girls are nasty, and I guarantee you, in 2019, women can play some serious football. They're not going to mix them with men, and they shouldn't. But I'm just curious to see how the girls are going to do it.
But it depends on the level. I mean, just with the popularity of CrossFit, just men and women are just getting to a level of fitness that wasn't really a mainstream thing. And the more that grows, the more we're going to see people at the highest levels are going to be getting better and better.
And there's a correction on that. It's De Montfort University in the UK.
De Montfort University in the UK.
Gotcha.
Sorry about that.
Yep.
But the UK is one place I know that there's women football, being full contact women's football at the universities level.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. And football in Europe in general is growing, but Australia, I mean, it definitely is popping up.
Yep, it is.
So, what do we got next?
Well, Stephen Haley wants to know, Hanley, what's our favorite college football team? We don't talk about college a lot, or I should say we don't talk about it enough. I'm more of an NFL fan than college. I'm from the Northeast, so college football wasn't a big deal for us.
Yeah, and I grew up in the Northeast as well, where it's all about pro up there. I mean, obviously I went to school in South Carolina at Clemson, and around here, college football reigns supreme. It's not even close. I mean, obviously for me, I went to Clemson. It's a good time to be a Tiger, I'll tell you that.
Yep.
So obviously that's my top pick as far as team. But I grew up a Michigan fan.
Wow, you know, and I tell you, for me, my answer is probably not going to be a very popular one, but of course, I'm more and more into Clemson Tigers. They've earned their spot. I mean, they're just beasts. I like watching the Gamecocks. I know that they have work to do, but I don't know. I think that they're underrated.
Tomas is getting excited by that.
There you go, man. And I like watching Notre Dame.
Because we all know Tomas is a cock.
That's right. He knows.
So.
And I watched Auburn. I followed Cam Newton basically that whole career. So I'm all over the map with college, and I know it's really not popular for me, but that's my answer. I don't have a good one for you. You know, I watch what I watch, and it's definitely more NFL.
Yeah. So that great question there. Do we want to give a prize away for that question?
Yeah, I think that deserves a prize. So Stephen Hanley, what do you want? You a player or a collector? And let us know.
He already has a prize.
Oh man. Well,
there you go,
dude. He must have left a lot of comments.
Maybe we'll throw something else in there.
Yeah, we'll give you another little thing.
This one's not a prize worthy, but what are our favorite football cleats? That's coming from Zachary Clark again. And Zachary, I don't really have a preference. You know, I got to say, we tell people all the time who ask us about cleats and gloves and shoulder pads and this, that, and the other thing is we stick with helmets. We don't even really give our opinions or talk about the other stuff all that much because the reality is I wouldn't do it justice. But when it comes to helmets, that's our avenue.
Yeah, and this is up our alley. So Brian just asked, and maybe you guys can pull his comment. Who just has the flat out best helmet setup in the NFL? That is a tough.
Which player?
Yeah, yeah, and I mean there's some really great ones. I think Matt Stafford has a really cool look.
Yeah, we'll be doing a video on him coming up. You know, I would say that OBJ is such a clean look, and a lot of people love that look specifically.
I say Alvin Kamara, really cool setup. Boy, there's some really good setups.
There's a lot.
I'm going to go with Kamara.
And you know, and for us, we love the little details. I don't remember the name, but somebody was asking, "Hey, are you guys ever going to have 3D bumpers on your website for sale?" We are going to. We currently sell 3D bumpers that have our logo on them. We do work. We have a partnership with the company 3D Bumpers, and we are going to be expanding our role in that partnership. So we actually are going to be working with teams from the NFL all the way down, supplying these. It's, in our opinion, the highest quality piece, and I love the helmet setups that have all these little things that most people don't recognize. I think those are the kind of things that take some of these setups to the next level, especially when you have multiple brands kind of combined, you know, where you're taking the best of certain brands and bringing them all together.
Yeah.
You know, Douglas has recently come out with a chin strap clip.
Yeah, it's
buckle.
pretty exciting.
It's fantastic. We're going to be getting some of those in stock once they come in. They tested them on a couple of teams.
Yeah, stay tuned. We're going to do a video on that soon.
Instantly. I mean, I was told about it before I had it in my hand. I'm like, that's an idea that I think is legit. And then once I got them in my hand, it was it took me a half a second to realize that these things are going to be big. So I think that they're going to be all over the NFL. And we're obviously going to be stocking them as well. But you know, little things like
3D bumpers are cool.
You know, the Chiefs, where how they cut their chin straps to form the arrow on the top.
Yep. I like that. A lot of the Panthers seem to be using dome screws for whatever reason. I love that look, and it's like $4 to do that to your helmet. It's kind of rough.
Super easy.
I love that look though. I really do. There's another really good one here, and we've talked about this before, but here's a good way for Jay will be able to explain this pretty easy. So Infamous NOOB wants to know, why does Speed Flex cost so much more than other helmets? It's not really accurate, but I'm going to let you handle that one, Jay.
Yeah, so I think that the Speed Flex and other helmets kind of fall into this trap too. When they first get released, the price is higher, so you kind of get this idea in your head that it costs a lot because on day one, it seems to cost more than other helmets. But as you have to remember that millions of dollars go into not only doing the R&D on the helmet, the SpeedFlex specifically, that was worn by high schools for a full year before it was in the NFL. When I say high schools, there was 5 high schools around the country that were heavy Riddell users. They had a relationship with Riddell, and they gave a lot of feedback, basically on a daily basis, to Riddell, and they used that feedback to kind of to put into the helmet when it goes, you know, on sale to the general public, and then it went into the NFL, and they have to pay back. They have to earn back their money for all of the technology that they put, or the new technology that they're putting into their helmets. And what that means is they have to charge a little bit more in the beginning, and then typically what you see is each year after the first year, it starts to come down a little bit, and it's not because they're overcharging in the beginning and then they say, hey, now we can bring it down, the price down to where it should be. Not the case at all. There are millions of dollars in R&D that go into these helmets, and there's a ton of money that goes into making the molds and the tooling and all of that stuff that goes in these helmets, and then all, you know, the release of the marketing and all that kind of stuff. And then as the helmet starts to age, we'll say, the price can come down because all of that stuff has now been paid off. You know, and the Riddell Speed is a perfect example of this. Is this helmet has a longer lifespan, I think, than what they were anticipating. So because of that, all of those upfront costs have been paid for. It helps bring the price down. Same thing, you know, there's a reason why some of the older shell designs, we'll say like the Shut XP, are so much more affordable, and the youth helmets are more affordable because those, all the equipment and all that for those types of helmets has been around so long that they don't need to worry about charging anymore for, you know, the molds and the R&D and all that kind of stuff that went into the helmets, you know, maybe even over a decade ago. So I don't think it's so much that they cost more compared to the other helmets, is what do they cost compared to other helmets with similar technology and similar age.
So hopefully that helps. Good answer. We got 2 more really good ones. Actually, go check out Young Buck. What did he say there? He gave us $4.99.
You guys are awesome. My favorite setup is either Odell, Deshaun, Tyreek, or Kyler Murray. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Murray's got a
can't really argue with those setups.
Yeah.
And that's a Young Buck sneakerhead.
Yeah. That's a cool name. What'd you say, Tomas?
We'll give away for Infamous for that.
Oh, yeah. Do that. Yeah. We'll give Infamous a little something for that. That was a great question about the Speed Flex. So, yeah. He's obviously a player, right? Wouldn't you say?
I would say so.
Can we do this?
Yeah, so let's give away a bunch of this stuff here. So somebody was asking about, are we going to give away the Sports Star chin strap?
It's giveaway time.
So let's give away this guy, and then we're going to give away this, whatever's in this box, which is a Sports Star. This is going to be a X1 GX4 gel in small, and it's white.
Cool. Who's getting that?
I don't know.
How about Sam?
Should we ask a question?
Sure, because you just got a little something in there. We can ask a question for it. Actually, here's a great one. And somebody said, "How did we make our logo?" So how about this? For a quick trivia one, we won't get into that too much. We want to see, what do you see in this logo? Go. First person that answers that correctly is going to go ahead and win this, because it's not as simple as you would think. So guys, be careful, because this is going to be fast. People are going to be answering.
Who got that X1 GX4?
The X1 GX4, that's what's going to get given away right now. Yep. The visor is going to the guy that asked about the Speed Flex. Yeah, cool. Been watching since day one. You know, this Gold Speed 101, Jay, they really have been around years. I've seen this name for years. Thank you very much for sticking around. I mean, that's huge.
Appreciate it. I saw a comment here. I just want to address it. Somebody said that they donated, but they didn't see their question pop up.
Sorry.
I would say double check what the question is. That's a YouTube issue, if there is one. But I know that if there's any links, profanity, hashtags, all of those things won't show up. They're automatically kind of filtered out.
Yeah, and we are trying our best. We appreciate the donations. It's amazing. We did,
And I gotta say, when we first started, I think we do a little bit of advertising on Facebook. They would not let us do any advertising whatsoever, and YouTube does this a little bit too. They have, it's all AI. They've got their computers and robots are listening in and they're reading in, and because we sold things like chin straps that have the word straps in it, and what was the other thing, Steve?
They had something to do with blackout.
Blackout, oh yeah, so there was keywords that are in some of the things that we sell that they thought that we were like a pornographic
Sex toys.
Stuff. Yeah,
Not even close.
Which apparently isn't. Yeah. No.
So we had to argue that we are selling helmets, and what you do with those helmets is on you. But that's. Do we have a winner?
Yeah.
We had a bunch of people that got it right.
Again.
Huh?
Both
Gotta be a secondary then. Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Yeah. But yes, the answer is, since we already definitely have a winner, which we will announce in 2 seconds, the logo is all about a football player, but the whole player leaning forward, 2 shoulder pads. It's also GG, the whole deal going on. Pretty clever. It took us quite some time to develop it, but we love it. We got this sign made and shirts, and we're going to get more and more swag as time goes on. So what is the winner?
Dami Files.
Cool. Congratulations, man. This chin strap is yours.
And Steve hates it when I look off camera as much as I am, but I'm trying to read through some of these questions right now to kind of see what everybody's saying out there. So there was one that I saw here from Clint Richardson. He's got a channel about Auburn uniforms. Definitely going to go check that out. We do a little bit of stuff with Auburn. We'll say that. And they've got some great looks. Actually, a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, I think, they were wearing some nickel navy face masks.
I remember that.
I saw this. I was over a buddy's house watching the game, and I'm like, oh, what are they doing wearing those? You can't. I surveyed everybody in the room, Steve, and nobody saw anything different. Of course, my eyes saw it instantly. We didn't provide those to the team, and I don't think that they wear them anymore because you couldn't really tell the difference. And something that we've talked about in previous videos is when you're doing chrome or nickel face masks, when you put you got to understand that you get that reflection. We've got a few chrome helmets on the back here. You get that reflection because there's a silver mirror finish on that helmet, and then you get the color by dyeing the clear coat that goes on top of that silver mirror finish. So think of the bumper on a car, and then to get a color, you're spraying a dyed clear coat on top of it. The darker you make the dye, kind of like when you color an egg, the more food coloring that you put in the water before you dunk the egg in it, the darker it gets. And so, it's a similar process or similar methodology, I guess, with to get the colors for the chrome helmets and face masks. But the darker you go, the less light is able to refract back at you, and you start to lose the effect of the chrome. So we have a lot of people that we've had a lot of teams actually ask us for black chrome, and our responses for that is like, it's possible, you can do it, but if you really want black, you're not going to be able to tell the difference from 20 feet away because you're basically hiding. You're not letting that light come back out through it to really get black. Otherwise, if you take it down a notch, you have a different color.
Yes.
So really chrome pops the most on the lighter colors.
That's a good point. And I want to throw this out there because somebody just asked, why are the authentic collectibles so expensive compared to replicas? Pretty easy answer. The reason why they're pricey to begin with is half of it's going towards the licensing. The Riddell and these other, they have to make their money back. Some of that money goes to the teams. But the reason why the authentics are so much more expensive than the replicas are the padding, the actual shell. It's a little bit hefty, right, Jay? I mean, it's heftier, it's sturdier. There's a clear difference. You can put it on your head. Don't ever ram into things or play with them, but you can sit there and yell at your TV all you want. A replica, you can't. And the replicas look great on a shelf, but they feel like toys. But
they're light because all the padding has been removed from them. And we show, whenever we do a video where we're building one of these helmets, we'll show the inside. If it's an authentic, I throw it on my head. It's a large. I'm a large, so they fit me for the most part right on. But the replicas are, they have a plastic pad in there, or a piece of plastic in there, and you can't put it on your head. And they've removed all of the pads, so it's not. I wouldn't say it's because the authentics. I wouldn't say the authentics are why are they so expensive? I would say that they're able to, for lack of a better word, streamline or dumb down the replicas to make it so you can afford something that's going to be great sitting on the shelf. Whereas the authentics are just the next, they're the kind of the full version.
I hope that helps answer that. We got another donation here.
Another one from Young Buck Sneakerhead. He's saying for $9.99. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Young Buck. We should probably give him something for that.
He's getting something.
Let's give him something unique. How about we have one more 150th patch?
You're getting our last one. That was supposed to be mine, but I'm happy to give it to you.
We only got 3. I hope you enjoy this. I'm a player, and the Speed Flex is great, but if the Speed Flex did not have the flex, how high would it be rated? I also really enjoy the TCP chin strap.
Oh.
So good comments. And I gotta say, when you're talking about the flex, and that's kind of the horseshoe, as we call it, on the top of the helmet, yeah, that does flex. Does it, if it didn't have that, would the severity index numbers be better or worse? I would assume that it's there for a reason, but I don't know how much better or worse that it would perform on the tests. I suspect it wouldn't be all that different.
Probably not, yeah.
But I don't know.
Yep.
Adventure Athlete just shouted out, "Good morning, fellas."
Hey, Adventure Athlete.
Well, Clark, it's nice that you just rolled out of bed. I'm sure you had a long night last night. You were probably up editing, I'm assuming. So good to hear from you. And again, if you have not heard before, basically go write it down, go over to the Adventure Athlete YouTube channel, subscribe, click the notification bell so you know exactly when that video during the halftime show is going to come out.
He's dropping
footballs from
a drone.
From a drone, which is cool. He's
super cool.
He's a pretty sick drone. Is it drone photographer? Drone videography? Is that what's the name
it's its own thing.
Of that?
Yeah, it's drone videography, and it's a real thing. I mean, and it's an art, subtle move, remote. He's good. He's got a good thing going.
And he did some work for, I think, for Portland, the city of Portland. He did some drone work for, and he's a marketing major in college, so he's kind of taken his love of just sport in general, but putting all that together. Anyway,
for our younger viewers, check him out. He is the definition of what you can get when you work hard. He does not sit back and expect things to come his way. He goes and gets it, and I suggest you do the same thing. He's got a bright future ahead of him, and it's fun to see. What's that?
He wants to know who you have winning.
Patriots.
Rams. Clark, you're gonna have to go and watch the rest of the earlier in the video where Steve and I did our picks.
Yeah, our breakdown and very, very simple analysis. But
Steve, I'm killing the coffee. That means that we are close to end time.
We are winding
We've been
down
going for almost 2.5 hours.
It's crazy, man.
We could talk all day about this stuff and answer everybody's questions. So
it's true.
We are going to be going back. It's obviously impossible to talk and read through all the questions while we're live. We're going to go back and we're going to look at all of these questions.
Yep.
And, this is what we're going to be making some of our future shows and content about for sure. So I would say, Steve, what else is it that you want to make sure that we talk about? Do we want to give anything else away here?
Well, I want to make sure that we tell people, go check out our Facebook page. There's a code right now, and I'll share it with you. It's only for today. And it's FACE10, F-A-C-E 10. It'll give you 10% off anything on the website, whole site wide.
Wow,
so
that's a good one.
It's pretty good. Check out our Instagram. We have over 100,000 followers. We have a good team of people working on all of our social media, and we appreciate the feedback. So go check out our social media and check out our website, greengridiron.com.
Yep.
Right?
And with us, with social media, we try not to just take the exact same thing and push it out. So we kind of curate our social media. So on Twitter, it's kind of Twitter specific. On Facebook, it's Facebook specific, and it's on Instagram, it's Instagram specific. We actually have accounts for Pinterest and Snapchat and all that. We're not really active over there.
No.
At some point, we may be.
Yeah.
But if you have those and that's kind of what you like, go follow us there too. And when we do start posting there, then you will be one of the first to see it. YouTube, we actually started our YouTube channel in 2012, but we didn't put our first video up until February 28th of 2017.
True.
So it took us 5 years.
We are on almost 2 years.
Before we got active.
Yeah, almost 2 years, and in that time, just real kind of quick, we've got about 7.5 million views. We've picked up 67, almost 1,000 subscribers, and we get about 2.5 to 2 million minutes watched every month. So we appreciate how much you guys watch us. I got to answer this dude because he must have asked 55 times.
55 times.
This dude, Jose, wants to know, what setup would we wear if we were playing football right now? That's a tough one to answer, but just based on the things that we've done and the helmets I've tried on, I would go with the Schutt F7, the LTD. It fits my head really nicely, and with a no brow mask. I'm not really a fan of the brow look.
And I would say that I would, even if the helmet fits great just sitting here,
Yeah.
I would want to go and I would want to try on as many helmets in practice, if possible, hitting, you know, at the college, or should I say like the big college and the NFL, those guys can try on a different helmet every day if they wanted to, and go out and then make a decision. That's really the best way to do it.
And we're not playing anymore. Like we can tell you what it is, but it's not going to help you. But me personally, and I know Jay, you've said it before. You know,
I'll be honest, I don't know, but I would want to try on as many helmets as possible. Let's go over these super chats real quick, kind of a speed round here, because I think everybody knows we're kind of coming to an end. But a Young Buck Sneakerhead, one more time. Thank you again. $9.99. Last one. I'm going into high school where they hit harder. What helmet combo do you suggest? I gotta say,
please wear an adult helmet.
Yeah, definitely an adult helmet. Actually, if you're 14 or over, or if you're playing against anyone 14 or over, definitely go with an adult. You know, someone else had to ask, what's the difference? You know, why is the material different in youth helmets? Well, youth helmets, they don't need to have as heavy duty, I guess, of a material, so they can get away with the lower cost material, and that lower cost, because you don't need it, you're able to get more people playing who might not be able to afford the more expensive materials. But definitely, regardless of how hard you're hitting or whatever level you're at, stick with adult and try on as many helmets as possible. Practice in as many helmets as possible. Run around in as many helmets as possible until you can figure out which one fits you best. Joseph Ortiz, $4.99. No question attached to Joseph's donation, so thank you very much, Joseph, for that.
Thank you, sir.
FG Linder, shout out to Tomas for being a Panther and behind the scenes. So FG, Tomas, do you know FG Linder?
I don't think so.
No, but he knows that you're a Panther.
Come on here real quick and make sure you say hello.
He's a Panther and a cock at the same time.
Yeah.
He's one of our behind the scene guys.
Thank you.
Another one from Young Buck Sneakerhead. I love the show 1.0 visor. By the way, that's the visor I wear in my Speed Flex. Yep.
Yeah, 1.0 is amazing.
1.0 is the way to go. It's one of our favorite visors for sure.
Great visor.
I think I got everybody. I can't tell.
We got to give Jose something for that question, by the way.
Sure.
I would love to give him this. We have one more visor left. Here, speaking of the Shock 1.0, Jose, this is yours. This is a new visor we have coming out soon,
and I'll tell you what, we really appreciate everybody leaving comments. It does mean a lot. We are going to be going through them. And Tomas doesn't know it yet, but he's going to be going through the comments. If your page or your channel, I think you have to have either a page or a channel that have a YouTube to be able to subscribe into YouTube to watch a lot of the videos. And if you're set up for public and you have your email address there, he's going to go through the people who are the most active, leaving comments just throughout the entire live stream.
Yep.
We're going to be giving away some transfer decals or some flags or something.
Damn.
So if your email address is there, Tomas is going to be going and finding it. So go, if you're not set up right now, public with your email address.
Yep.
If you don't get a response, don't feel left out or bad. We're going to be doing this kind of stuff in the future, but he's going to go and he's going to kind of randomly pick some people who we may not have gotten to. Yeah. So how do you like that?
It's a great point, Jay. That's really great. We're Oprah style. You get a decal, and you get a decal, and everybody gets a decal. And we've been at this a long time. I know we have to start wrapping it up. We really, really appreciate you guys watching. Let us know, how did we look? How did we sound? We don't need our egos inflated. We just want to know for future live videos. Do you want to see more live videos? Do you like this look and feel? Let us know. We're going to look through these comments. We got a lot to watch.
Enjoy. And we're actually thinking about doing some meet and greets. So if you want to meet us, let us know where you're from. Leave comments below, obviously, but let us know where you're from and whether or not you would come out to we'd probably do either a sports bar or
unless
a
you got
brewery.
a sick helmet collection, we'll come and see your collection.
Well, maybe. I don't know if he wants to invite other people over for that, but you never know. But we're on the road a lot. I know that we're gonna be in Arizona and Texas and Indianapolis,
we'll be all over the place.
up north. We're going to be kind of going out there, and when we do those types of trips anyway. I think we're going to start doing some meetups, and maybe we'll bring some of the helmets that we have that we're going to have with us anyway, so you can check those out too. Anyway, I'm going to do the sign off here. Thank you very much for joining us. Hopefully we have another live stream before the next Super Bowl. And like, subscribe, click the notification bell if you want to see more videos like this. And until then, cheers.
Cheers.
So now we got to turn it off.